version or a complete renovation. The great thing about One Bath & Closets is that David handles everything. One company, one contractor,
I can hear you.
One Bath & Closets. Check out the gallery of his most recent projects and schedule your free in-home consultation online at onebathandclosets.com. That's onebathandclosets.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Supreme Rice. I sort of feel like a member of the Supreme Rice family because they're from Southwest Louisiana, just like me. So when you're enjoying Supreme Rice, the perfect complement for all your red and white beans, stews, gumbos, and etouffees,
I can hear
know
you.
that you're also supporting our Louisiana farmers and stretching your food dollar at the same time. Supreme
I
Rice
said that
for the
earlier.
last 80
You
years
didn't
has
hear
been
me.
delighting their customers. So pick up
I
Supreme
know,
Rice
because
the
you
next
didn't hear
time
me
you
say
shop.
it.
For more information and unique recipes, learn more at supremerice.com.
Custom Colors of Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's friendliest body and paint shop and is the
Yeah.
area's only certified BMW shop. Billy Rapp and Pete McKnight have been
Am I
serving
wrong?
Baton Rouge since
No.
1987. Conveniently located in Industrialplex off Siegen and Airline.
All right, I gotta
Custom
go.
Colors Body and Paint.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm
We're about to
Spencer
get
Callahan.
started.
I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson,
Yeah,
KNXX,
he can hear you.
Donaldsonville,
I can
and
only hear you
WDGL
'cause I
HD2
didn't
Baton
hear.
Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 89. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap LSU baseball series win over the Texas A&M Aggies. We'll also talk about the weekend that was in sports, maybe some New Orleans Saints, some LSU recruiting as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Oh, and welcome into OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We got a Bob sighting. I see a Bob. I haven't heard a Bob yet, but beautiful scenery in the background from Bob in Chicago, the Windy City, Chi-Town Bob. Oh, we can hear you, Bob. You sound great, actually.
Hell yeah, dude. Right on, man. All right, so this is working.
It's working
This is
so
actually
far.
working, dude. Hell yeah. What's going on, guys? I miss you. It's a little weird doing the show from all the way over here. I feel like a rube in the big city. You know, I'm just walking around wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. You can tell that I'm an out-of-towner because I'm just constantly looking up everywhere I go thus far in Chicago. This place is cool, man. I'm actually in the United Center right now.
Oh, nice.
So I am right above the front offices of the Bulls and the Blackhawks.
All right.
I don't know much about either, but yeah.
I was about to say, give me a player from either one of those teams.
Patrick Kane.
Is Zach LaVine still on the Bulls? Yep. Okay. What about? And I agree with Alondra. At Blackhawks, I'm always going to go Patrick Kane.
I actually don't think he
No, he
plays
doesn't.
for
He's
them
played for a
anymore.
couple of teams since then,
Yeah.
but it's okay. That's at least a name that did
For a
once play
long
for the
time.
Blackhawks.
Well, they won
So-
then. They won the Stanley Cup when he did, right? A
So-
couple times. Or got close a couple
I
times.
don't
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they
man.
won.
Yeah. Tyler from
Yeah,
Spartanburg
oh, yeah.
says they won. So, yeah, they won. I was told by someone on the streets in the wild that since you wouldn't be here, even though you are here, that I had to be mean to Taylor this week.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't. It's harder to bully him from hundreds of miles away, but like, especially because it's just not the same. It's just not the same. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. You need to make
I got
sure
you.
for the good, the humor, and the flow of this show that you know what you need to do, Jake. You need to treat Taylor like how that LSU baseball team treated them Aggies this weekend. Let's freaking go, boys!
They
Hell
did.
yeah.
Look, they did exactly what they had to do. Before we get there, Alondra, Tyler from Spartanburg, are we doing good? Good weekend? Everybody good to go?
Yeah, doing great.
All right, I promise I'm not going to be that mean. The sassy comment earlier today, you were being a little bit trying to get T-Bob set up, but that was just a joke.
All I said was give me a sec. But yeah, no, we're doing good.
The tone, even those texts felt real like, give me a sec.
That's the problem with text though, right? Like you never can tell tone. No, I'm doing good. Watch the roast of Tom Brady last night.
Okay,
all
I didn't
3
finish
hours
it, so
and
don't
10 minutes
spoil.
of it.
Only got to
3
Bill
hours?
Belichick.
3 hours. Yes, that's how long it is.
T-Bob,
It's a long.
did you
one.
watch
It's a
3
long
hours
one.
of Tom Brady?
I will say this. I
He
think
looks a
Tom
little
did 5
crazy.
minutes at the end. I've seen fits and starts. I've seen the beginning and I've seen the end. I'm still working through the middle.
Yeah.
That is funny. The roast of Tom Brady is a massive W for Tom, for Netflix, for everybody involved. And they went as much as it was about Tom Brady, so much of it also felt like comedians saying, look, we're going to bring back roasting. And because we're on Netflix, we can say whatever we want. And like, we're going to get greasy. Like at the beginning, Kevin Hart kept talking about, look, you better get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that was kind of the theme of the night. And I thought it was fantastic. And I don't think we've really ever seen anything like that before. We've seen celebrity roasts, but in terms of like an athlete and really a whole dynasty, because it was the Patriots. It was basically like a roast of the most dominant NFL dynasty of our lifetimes.
All right, well, I got to check it out. Have not yet. Taylor watched all 3 hours. Alondra, I feel like you're about an hour and 10 minutes in. T-Bob's seen clips, and so I'll catch up on that.
Oh, the Foo Fighters were freaking awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how
can
the Foo Fighters have to be awesome?
They were 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I would love to see them
So you're glad you
again.
went?
I'm glad I went, yeah.
You're glad you didn't pull a grandma
Right,
and
yes.
stay at home.
Yeah.
You went, and it was worth it.
Yeah, I was sitting in here doing the math. I was like, well, they go on at 5. I'll be done by 7 at the latest.
That's bad that you're already doing
my
sleep
God,
math.
dude.
Don't do sleep math.
sleep math.
You do that when you get to 40.
You are too young to pull the thinking about leaving plans as you're pulling up to a place.
It was pretty bad.
That is absolutely not allowed.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No. It was great, though. I am glad I went.
Yes. It looked great. It looked
Look,
like a great
he's 100 miles away. I know he's upset that he can't make fun of me, so I'll put this one on a T for T-Bob. This must be my biggest music blind spot. If anybody in this room asked me to name a Foo Fighter song, I could not give you one.
Yes, you could.
Yes, you could.
I cannot. I couldn't name it.
All right.
You would
Yes, you
recognize
could.
it. You would recognize it.
Okay.
You couldn't name a song, but you would absolutely recognize
Real
it.
quick, and I promise we'll get to LSU baseball. Quick story. So when I went to Evangel, we couldn't play any secular music. Like they didn't do it. They would play Kirk Franklin Stomp, and they would play Braveheart instrumentals, which was kind of cool, but it got tiring. You know, you hear Braveheart instrumentals.
Wait, no POD? I went to a Christian high school as well.
I think
we were big.
Yeah, I
POD.
think we were right before that, T. I think we were like right before that. And so like we had no juice, right? And we're about to play West Monroe at home. And we typically would play them at Independence Stadium, which is a much larger stadium. Like, you know, we've had like 50,000 people in that stadium play West Monroe. But it was my senior year, and like, hey, we want to play a home game. Like, we want to play at our campus and have packed out, and it was. And we talked them into letting us play "There Goes My Hero" by Foo Fighters from Varsity Blues.
Oh, I know that song.
And when I say we had the most juice that you possibly could have, just because they finally let us play one secular song, and it was Foo Fighters from Varsity Blues.
Hell yeah. I love
I
everything
always
about that.
thought "There Goes My Hero" was from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 soundtrack.
Sir, I don't know if it is or not, but that, for me, you know me, is from Varsity Blues.
Yeah, that's what I would recognize it from.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. So speaking of, you know,
heroes.
Yeah. God. Well done. Actually, that's where I was going. LSU baseball. They did it. T.
How about it, boys?
T. You wanted some success. Okay. Now sweeping was always going to be a dream. Although, look, I mean, had an opportunity, but you had to get one. Like one had to be the bare minimum. You could not get swept. You get swept, you're done. But you needed two. That was the goal going in. Yesterday, was it ugly? It was. You had moments into the fifth inning. You ran out of pitching. You always knew that was going to happen. But they did what they had to do. And, like, they did it with timely hitting. Like, the pitching showed up, which was great, and Christian Little and the bullpen, the starters, everything there was great. We'll get to that. But timely hitting, T-Bob, which is something we've asked for from this team all season long.
Well, I would say, Jake, I think definitely the timely hitting. But I would say even just you finally won the high leverage moments,
Yep.
right? And maybe y'all can help me. I just did like a raw memory. Okay, what jumps out over the weekend in terms of there was obviously Pearson the double with the bases loaded on Friday,
and that's one that they haven't been getting all season long. That's what I'm talking about. Like that
all
timely
season.
hitting,
And even
right
Sunday,
there.
even Sunday, you had it with Milam, right?
Yeah.
You had that opportunity with Milam on Sunday, and you didn't get it. That's fine though, because you got it more often than not this weekend. It had become a bit of a mathematical anomaly. It felt like with LSU thus far this year, where you just weren't winning any of those. So you had that. How about Luke Holman? Speaking of some high leverage mound moments, not having his best stuff, bases loaded, no out, then strikes out 3 in a row. And did he end on Gravahack or did he end on Montgomery right there? Either way,
He was the teeth of the lineup. Yeah.
Yes, back-to-back times, looking sketchy, and he finds ways to get out of it. You mentioned Christian Little. I think about game 2. I think about the Milazzo single with 2 outs to give you the insurance run, and then Tommy White single with 2 outs to give you the insurance run, and which obviously you ended up needing to actually win the game. And then you even avoided what, you at this point in the year, you've been so conditioned to be like, here we go again, where you had moments that felt like, oh, this is going to be why they blow this, and you stopped it. Whether it was having your 4th review overturned in one game as the home team, which I've never seen. That fan interference, like, if you want to say it's not a home run, fine. I don't know. I was kind of watching on a bad TV. I just don't know about that fan interference.
Certainly not an out. That play, and I thought KP and Tom did a great job of not like towing the company line and being like, well, they're like, no, don't see it. That shouldn't have been that, because they're right. Like home run, we can have that conversation too. You're right, but at minimum, that's a double.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, I mean, that was a moment where you're like, oh, this is going to be what does it. And then you had the Braswell bobble, which certainly is very concerning and has to be fixed. But like that felt terrifying at the time. Like, oh, that is going, now you got second. Oh, and then you had the wild pitch. You got second and third. But hey, Gavin Guidry comes in, finds a way, and Paxton Clean makes a play in center. So yeah, I think to me, that is the theme of the weekend, is that for the first time this year, and against a very good team, you won the majority of the high leverage moments, and you responded well to mistakes and didn't let them break you and make you just completely fall apart.
I agree with you. And the other thing that stood out to me over the weekend, just like starting something from nothing as well. Like you're down 3-0, but you're fine. Like you're good. And then here comes back-to-back bombs, and then you start to find a way to manufacture some runs. And like they didn't get nervous or scared playing from behind against the number 1 team in the country, right? And that was the first 2 games. Like they won both those games by coming back, and they got punched in the mouth, and they didn't allow it to knock them to the mat. They got back up every single time if it did. And so, like, the way they won as well was impressive. And, again, you had to have it. And so to see that fight from this team, and like, I know they've played Mizzou, and I know they've played Auburn, which are bottom feeders in the SEC, but now combined with this series, I mean, they have every opportunity, right? They're playing probably, I mean, their most consistent baseball, I would say, of this year, in the conference for sure. But, like, even in the non-conference, you look at it, like, some of these moments and some of these guys are really starting to make a name for themselves. And Larson's at the top of the lineup, which is something we talked about. So, like, this thing's still alive now. Like, you did what you had to do to keep it alive, but now you can't let it slide going on the road against an Alabama team.
Well, it's kind of interesting in that right now, if you were to just look at LSU's, what's their overall record right now as it stands? Is it 31-17?
Tyler from Spartanburg. Can we look that up? Computer's dead.
But like, if you just look at their overall record, 31-17, I think they got an RPI of like 31. Like, yeah, that's not going to host. But most years, actually, not most years, every year, that's basically you are in. There you go, 31-18, RPI now of around 31. We'll see where that adjusts as they get all the results in. But that like on the surface would be enough to host. However, it is the conference record that is the final piece of the puzzle that needs to be finished out here. And maybe look, in the argument of do midweek games matter or not, again, they exist in a quantum realm, and sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But now, because LSU might be able to hit that 13 SEC win number, like they showed it over the weekend, right? If you get to 13 SEC wins, I think like 38% of the time you end up making the tournament. Well, LSU's out of conference record, which is so stellar, now combined with the RPI boost from taking a series off the number one team in the country, like that's going to be enough. Where if you can hit 13, I think LSU will get in, along with everything you talk about, Jake, like, you know, who you are, your brand, and what you're coming off of last season. So, look, the fight is by no means done. No means done, right? They are in playoff baseball. They have been in playoff baseball. They had to take 2 of 3 here. And we could talk about what they have to do from here on out in order to hit that number 13.
Yeah, we're certainly talking more LSU baseball here coming up. We'll get to LSU football missing on some defensive tackles. We got Shay Dixon joining us at 8:15 to break that down. You wanted to go 2 for 2. You go 0 for 2. We'll break it down. We'll take our first break. Chi-Town Bob is here all show long. Great backdrop again, man. Very jealous of that backdrop. And does it feel weird, by the way, that you're in Central time zone, but you're so far away?
It makes me happy. You know, it makes me happy. I don't think that I've definitely never been to this part of the country. I honestly don't think I've ever been anywhere in Central Time that's not the South. So it's actually very perceptive of you to ask if it feels odd, because it actually really kind of, I got to say this though, dude, again, the architecture in this place.
Yeah.
I guess I knew a little bit of it from Devil in the White City because it was such a big deal here back in the day. But I feel like I'm at like the 1908 World's Fair everywhere I look. It's like it's almost like a New York, except everything's wider.
Yeah.
Just everything's wide. There's just a bit more room to operate. Truly, it's cold too, bro. It's like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Everybody's out here chilling in shorts and shirts. I'm like freezing. I'm bundled up.
Hey, that's how I felt in Detroit. It's like very much the same way. And Chicago is a much bigger city, and the buildings are great. The weather, same thing. Again, I felt just like that in Detroit. I was like 41 degrees. I'm bundled up. Everybody's like in shorts and T-shirts. All right, before we take this first break, because I said I would do this every single time they won a big tournament, shout out to the 7U Lugnuts Black. They get it done yet again. Another tournament last week in Central, this week in Prairieville. Same way, T. How about this? They lose the first game of the tournament, and then they win the rest of their games all the way to the championship. 2 tournaments in a row. Yeah, going through a little adversity, showing some grit.
So huge congrats to the Lugnuts. We'll leave it there for now.
Yeah. I don't like.
No. I think there's a ring discussion to be had, maybe a bit later. But huge congrats to Lugnuts.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's how you respond.
That's right.
To adversity. You lose the over and you come back and you win the ship. We love to see
8 a.m. games Saturday and Sunday to start the day. So he's an early boy.
Sounds so fun from
an early boy.
Hell yes, dude.
And shout out to my guy Hogue for getting tournament MVP. The dude's a baller. Love watching him play baseball. Love watching that team play basketball. Hogue Catchings, my man, lefty.
Okay, right on.
Yes, sir.
Go Hogue.
All right, we're going to take a break. More OTB, talking LSU baseball. Get into some LSU football here later in hour number 1. Stay locked in here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org, that is your one-stop plumbing shop. And no matter what you've got going on in your home, right? If you've got an emergency going on, certainly they can come out. We say it all the time. Doesn't matter if it is a holiday. Doesn't matter if it's after hours. Doesn't matter if there's a big game going on. Does not matter. They can be there and they can fix that emergency for you. But also, if you're looking to upgrade, if you want to upgrade at your home or your business, they can help you out. Doesn't matter how many restrooms you have in your business. Say you own a big building downtown, right? Doesn't matter. They come in, they can facelift that entire thing. But even if it's just one in your home, now they can do anything that you want. New vanity, new sink, new shower, new tiles, new tub, like whatever it is. They've got you covered. Also, go tankless today with a tankless water heater. Never run out of hot water again. You got practices, you got games, you got late. It's okay because you can do dishes, shower, laundry, all at the same time. Tankless water heater, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
It's on. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. LSU's baseball season on life support and news from the college football transfer portal. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Anything, Taylor? Like any emotion, any remembrance of this fantastic song?
No,
Okay.
I know this. That's what I'm saying. Like, I probably know one. I just couldn't name it off the top of my head. Like, it's like I didn't know they sung the song, but yeah, I know it for sure. And yeah, Varsity Blues for sure is what I think of.
So if I ask you like a Trace Atkins song, you got me though.
Alan Jackson, he's got it lined up. He loves Alan Jackson.
I do love Alan Jackson.
I think
Hey,
you like Trace
when
Atkins
Daddy Let
more.
Me Drive's a banger, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
it
hate.
is. It's
You
a
will have
banger.
no Alan Jackson slander here from me.
No.
Way down under on the Chattahoochee. Great song.
No, I only know like 2 Trace Atkins songs.
Yeah, sure. Sure, bud. Sure you do. T-Bob, you know it is funny. I'm sitting here and we're doing the show. I'm like, man, this is cool. Like we get a chance to, T-Bob can host the show from Chicago. We're so used to being tethered to the studio here on this show. Like the other shows that we do, this is how we do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is. It's actually like it's not dissimilar from. It is weird, and I guess this is actually everybody probably since the pandemic. It is weird how used to human beings have gotten to just operating, because it feels like I'm hanging out with y'all, but then I look around and I'm just in like an every conference room in a different part of the country. Somebody in the chat asked me if I could point Chicago on a map. Absolutely not. I have no clue where Illinois is. I just have no idea where I'm at right now.
Well, okay,
am I in the chef's hat?
No.
Am I in the chef's hat?
No, the chef's hat is Minnesota. The face is Iowa. The body is Missouri. The pants are Arkansas, and we're the boot.
Okay.
Yeah, but you would have a chance because Central Time Zone, you would know it's somewhere in the middle, right?
That's what I'm saying. I know that I'm north of where I was. That's all. That's all I really know about at this point.
All right. So you're going to be doing shows there all week. You're doing like multiple shows though, right? I mean, like kind of across the platform.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to check it out, Watch Stadium. You can download the Watch Stadium app or check them out on YouTube. But yeah,
I have the Stadium channel. By the way, like
yes. A lot of you are like cable. Okay, dude. Okay, I'm gonna keep my voice down. Can y'all still hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
You want to hear a dirty confession? I think this is all funded by Bally in some way.
Oh, no, it absolutely is, T-Bob.
There's a lot of Bally signage everywhere. And I'm kind of like,
if you don't know what T's talking about,
my God,
he is not waxed poetic about Bally in the past. That's why I have the channel. That's why like Taylor and I, both have Bally and probably that channel because I think it's all in the same thing, all in the same family. So let's just hope that doesn't resurface if this becomes like a major thing. Like it's not one of those things where
look.
We can
Bally
scrub it. We can scrub it.
Look, Bally pays AD and Joel, who just got ranked the third best commentary team in the NBA.
Yes.
They bring excellent service to Pelicans fans, allowing you to watch your favorite local teams at an affordable monthly rate.
Yep.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. There's a reason why the initials are BS, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's Bally Sports. Should we talk about LSU's path forward?
You don't want to keep talking about Bally and all the great things that they do?
To be clear, I think something's going on. Like there's some sort of split. I don't know exactly. I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about LSU's path forward. But wait, sorry. If you want to, yes, I'll be on the Clubhouse and the Rally Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, as well as Little Red Corner, Blue Corner. So I'll let you know all the times there and everything.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to that. You're going to crush it as always. And actually, the Rally's actually something that I've watched a ton of, and so very familiar with that show. Excited to see you on there, Bobber. Yeah, we can move on from the Bally conversation. We can look at LSU baseball. Now they sit 9-15 in conference play, as we mentioned earlier, 31-18 overall. You're going against Alabama, who is 10-14 and 29-18 overall. But T, I mean, they're not that far away from some of the teams that we firmly have in. Right? Like we firmly have teams that have 3-4 more wins than LSU, with LSU having an opportunity, later on, not to look too far down the road, with Ole Miss, who's also 9-15, but they're 25-22 overall. Like you in Florida, right? That was kind of the conversation on the broadcast all weekend long, fighting for your postseason lives. Well, they're 10-14 in conference play, but 24-23. And so like if they end up with a record that's under 500, like you're not eligible to get that at-large bid. And so we'll watch to see what the Gators are able to do in the midweek, because they haven't been great in the midweek and also on the weekends. But like even Vanderbilt's 11-13. T. I mean, they're 32-16 overall.
I did not. They got swept this weekend by Georgia.
They did get swept. Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
That's crazy to think about, all the way down to 11-13. I mean, look, to kind of build off of what we were talking about last segment. If you look at the differences between Ole Miss and Florida and LSU, it's that out-of-conference record.
Yep.
And it's been one of the most incongruous parts about this LSU team all year long, is that normally, even because and we could say, yeah, the schedule's really hard in the SEC, and it was, but look at how some of those teams have fallen off. Like normally, a team that goes 3-12 through 15 games of the SEC would have no chance of being like 23-2 or whatever they are out of conference, regardless of opponent. Right? It's not like Florida out of conference has been constantly playing the best either, even though I think they do have a strong strength of schedule.
Florida has the number one strength of schedule.
Number one overall. Yeah. But still, they were losing. I'm trying to think back early on in the year when they were losing. I mean, whatever. The point is, that's one of the key differentiating factors between a Florida, LSU, and even Alabama and others this year, well, right now, is that LSU's out of conference. If they hit the SEC wins, they've done well enough there where they really help themselves. And that's why this finish is so kind of fascinating, because Bama, Ole Miss, and LSU are kind of so close to one another and fighting for the exact same thing. And going to Tuscaloosa seems way tougher than it did at the beginning of the year. Because although Bama's 10-14 overall, this year at home, they've taken series from Tennessee, South Carolina, and Arkansas. In fact, Texas A&M is the only team to go into T-Town and emerge with a series win.
It's going to be like, it feels like a 3-4 team kind of race there in the SEC, and maybe three of the four get in. It feels like someone's going to get left out. Now, you look around, and we've said this about LSU, 3 letters across the chest going to help you out. Those 3 letters in the SEC are going to help you out as well. So if it's like it's down to you and another ACC team, Big 12 team, like you still feel good about where the SEC is as far as being able to get that nod. And so LSU's just got to continue to take care of business. And again, with the schedule that they have in front of them, like they have to, whatever they can do to keep that same momentum that they had this weekend in the box. Someone pointed it out. The body language was great all weekend. It was. Like they were fired up. Like they were ready to go. Tommy White was out front, and he had, you know, the emotion showing, and you kind of knew what the series meant. They have to bring that to these final series, even though it's not the number one team in the country. Like they have to, and I heard Jay say it the other day, like this is game 7 mentality every game from here on out. And if they can keep that, you feel good about their chances, but you can't let it slide at all. Like if you have a moment where you can take the series against Alabama, against Ole Miss, you got to put your foot on their neck and you got to finish them. Like that has to be the mentality.
I mean, you got to do exactly what you did this weekend, exactly what you did the last couple of weekends, which is just win more of those high leverage moments than you haven't. But let's be clear about this LSU team. Like, this is a team getting better. And this was a team that was never as bad as the pure record would have shown, right? We talk about how statistically for much of the year, they're basically like kind of middle of the pack and everything. You think about having the 3 leads on Arkansas. Like, we know all the moments. We don't need to rehash them again. So you're starting to see more of the true nature of this team right now, and you're finding answers. Pearson has been a godsend batting 4th. I don't know what it is about when it gets later in the year and things get more tense, but he just looks so comfortable. Milazzo behind the plate defensively has been great. He's always been that. But he, too, if we even think back to last season, like, I know at one point in his career, he was a Paxton Kling level of disaster at the plate, but he has become pretty consistent, and he's never going to give you power.
Competitive
but you know what he is going to give you. Yes, competitive, veteran at bats.
Yes.
And he comes up with these big-time singles, it feels like, more often than not in the high-leverage moments. And then I don't think there's probably – I mean, has there been a bigger godsend to this team than the emergence of Christian Little? For whatever reason, Thatcher Hurd still just can't find it. To win 2 games, you got to at least have 2 guys. And you had Griffin Herring, and now with Christian Little, that's been probably the main kind of change that has led to you now winning 3 SEC series in a row.
Without question, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly, because like you feel good about it. You feel like he's going to come in and really give you an opportunity, just like Herring does, right? You go starter to 1 guy out of the bullpen, and you're right. Like that was the formula for success, and you always were going to have to find a second, and he firmly feels like that second guy. He goes 3 2/3, only gives up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And this is the guy that we saw pitching the College World Series as a true freshman. Like this is the version that you thought, man, this guy is going to be the bare minimum time in college, get drafted, be a first rounder, and we're going to see him pitch for a long time. Well, he wasn't that. And you always heard the stuff was there, but the stuff is there for a lot of guys, but it's about the other things, the small things, figuring it out, being competitive, all those type of things. Well, he's been that and then some. And so now LSU, T-Bob, and I agree, like they have this formula where you've got 2 starters that you feel great about, and then you've got 2, I don't even want to call them like bullpen arms, they're like finishers. They're not closers because they don't come in the 9th. They're like finishers. Like they come in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, whenever it is in the game, and they've shut the door. And so right now, like where you're at, needing 2, at least 2 in these next 2 series, like you feel really good about that combination, and you want to steal a third if you can. But right now they've got the setup, and also like when postseason play comes, like that's a nice advantage for LSU to have. If Christian Little, he's like the key piece to all of this.
Yeah, I agree. I it's just, man, it is a bit disheartening. But I definitely didn't want to lead with it, right? Because the story is you took a series of the number 1 team in the country when you were backed in a quarter, and you had to get it. But it is disheartening. You got nothing left on Sunday, and especially this weekend, it was so visceral in how like you fought and scratched, you clawed, and you were truly spent, and it all explodes in a 45-minute half inning where, look, you were never going to keep this lineup down for an entire weekend, but it's just so stark and like so easy to see just how kind of limited this team is in terms of arms. And what it does is going to the next 2 weeks, I mean, it applies even more incredible pressure to Gage Jump, Luke Coleman, Griffin Herring, Christian Little, and anybody else who's going to get opportunities in games 1 and 2. They must find ways to win.
And I agree with you, and that pressure does go up, and being able to handle that's going to be the thing. Like that's going to be the thing that gets LSU into the postseason or keeps them out of the postseason. Like Nate Ackenhausen, it was good to see him get back in there. He started the game. He goes, I think, an inning and 2/3. He gives up 1 hit, does walk 2, but strikes out 4. Remember, he got injured, and you're wondering, was he going to be available down the stretch? I think it was a hamstring that he had. Like, that's somebody that can still give you something. Now, 3 innings, that might be the limit to you. Maybe you can stretch him to 4.
Yeah.
But even after that, to your point, I think Ackenhausen can be that guy. But I have no idea who can be after that to finish the game. Like, you still have to find 5 innings worth of outs. And even if Ackenhausen stretched himself to 4 innings, I just don't know that there's anybody right now that Jay Johnson can feel good about calling out the bullpen.
No, I agree.
So, because you look at, let's see, Dutton gives up 4, Lohr gives up 3, Thatcher Hurd doesn't record an out, gives up 2 earned runs. Now, Aiden Moffitt did actually come in, and he threw well. So, Aiden Moffitt goes 3 1/3, gives up 3 hits, no runs, walks 1, strikes out 6. So, if you can create a Ackenhausen, Aiden Moffitt combination, that's probably going to be your best case scenario on Sundays.
I know we're going to do a break. We should mention Fidel too, though.
Yeah.
Really big moment for him on Friday coming through, and maybe he's someone that you can rely on in those big games 1 and 2.
Look at T-Bob. Clock integrity even on the road. We will take that break. More OTB when we come back here. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. Truly a one-stop shop for all your roofing needs, commercial and residential. But like we often tell you, don't forget about the construction services portion of Coleman Roof and Construction. Because if you got bad weather, right, a ton of rain, that is, something that is unfortunate. Like you have a leak and you got to get somebody to come in to fix the roof. Then you got to have somebody else come in and fix the interior of your home because there's water damage. Not with Coleman. Coleman actually comes in and they can do everything. That's why it's a one-stop shop. They can fix your roof. They can also fix the interior, get you ready to go. So go to their website today, ColemanRoof.com, to find that contact information for where they're located in your state.
Yeah, man. Look, I don't care what that we say complete, because I don't care if we're talking commercial, residential, anywhere in Louisiana or the entire Gulf South region, any type of roof, and the construction portion of it. Great example. Something you have water damage in your house, they'll fix the hole in the roof. They'll also fix all the drywall insulation, all that as well. ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
So join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Saints undrafted free agents Kyler Ball and Kyle Sheets join the show. Plus, we're recapping LSU A&M and the latest in the transfer portal for LSU football. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, and welcome back into OTB, talking all things LSU baseball here in hour number 1. And T, you brought it up during the break, and you are right. It needs to be a conversation, and that is the Thatcher Hurd conversation. I mentioned he does not record an out, gives up 2 runs, walks 3 guys. Doesn't give up a hit, but if you walk 3 guys, obviously that does not matter. And then Aiden Moffitt came in. Now, inherited runners actually score, but then he shuts it down from when he comes in to the guys that he did not put on base. And so let's have that Thatcher Hurd conversation, T. He was the Friday night starter. He was the guy that got the ball first game of the year. He was the guy last year that really came onto the scene, knew exactly what his role was, and was a key piece in winning a national championship. And now it's not competitive. He comes out there, again, walks 3 guys, doesn't record an out, and that has really been the story for Thatcher Hurd. And if you had Thatcher Hurd be the guy that you thought he was going to be, even just a fraction of that on Sundays, that would help you win so many more games, it feels like, because you're just not competitive in the third game of these series.
Well, I mean, it's it's wild because didn't he throw very well against Texas earlier this year?
Oh, he's had some moments, yes. Like he's had moments where like that's
What I'm saying, he
Thatcher hurt.
started that game, right? That Friday night Shriners Classic game against Texas. He started and he outdueled LeBaron and Johnson. Now the Bats did a great job of getting to Johnson, getting him out of there. But like, it's not even just thinking about last year's pitcher to this year's pitcher.
Yeah.
To your point, it's about a guy who performed so well throughout all of fall ball and all of preseason and even into the season that it just boggles the mind as to how it's all gone so south. And at that point, Jake, I mean, it's mental, right? I mean, I guess he could be dealing with injuries or something that maybe we don't know about. I know, who was it? I think maybe Jay Johnson made some allusions to like Little dealing with some injuries that have maybe been holding him back, and he didn't go into any specifics because he said, well, it doesn't really help us to do that, which is true. But like Thatcher's fall off just feels so extreme that I have to imagine this is just a huge mental block, slump, or something or another that he is in, given that. Because, like, Jay Johnson and Nate Yeskie know how to evaluate college baseball players. They're very good college baseball coaches, especially like Jay Johnson has proven that time and time again. He thought that was going to be their Friday night guy, and now he can't even give you an out on a Sunday this late in the year. That doesn't make any sense at all.
He didn't go against Texas. That was actually Holman against Texas. It was Gage Jump against UL.
Okay.
And then on the third game against Texas State, Thatcher did come in. He gave you 5 innings, only gave 2 earned runs, 3 runs overall, struck out 5, only walked 1. So, I mean, Texas State, like, he was still very competitive, to your point, T, and the walks, that's what gets him in trouble, man. When he can't find the zone, it's just like, it's like you're coaching youth athletics, right? And you see, like, one bad moment, it's like, oh, that's over. Like, that's done. Because, like, even at that young age, like, you'll see a player, like, one bad thing happens, you're like, well, go ahead and put somebody else in because you know it's not going to get any better. Like, it's still like that for Thatcher Hurd. Like, as soon as there's any kind of adversity, it's just like he can't get back into finding his pitch.
Yeah, and I don't, I mean, again, it feels mental, and unfortunately, that's the harder thing to solve than a physical problem, right? If it's a technique or an injury, okay, we can wrap our heads around that. You can make easy attack plans. When it is a mental block or a lack of confidence or just some sort of mental slump, like there's just no clear path forward. And so much of that is personal. And it's things like sports psychology and therapy. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously I want Thatcher Hurd to be good for him. Like, I want him to fulfill the potential that he so clearly has. And if he ever could re-find some of it, I mean, it feels like we're out of time. But there is not a player on this LSU baseball team that could make a bigger potential impact than Thatcher Hurd if he could figure this thing out.
And I agree with you because I don't know, T. I don't know who, like we mentioned, like some people trying to piece together a Sunday game plan where you feel like you can be competitive, but I don't know what that name would be. And I don't blame Jay Johnson for going all in game 1, game 2. Here's what we have to do. Like, there's no saving anybody. We have, like, if we have the lead, Griffin Herring's coming in, or even if we're tired, or if we're still tied, or if we're still competitive in the game. And then the second game, having Christian Little, that has been something that you absolutely had to have. So shout out to Christian Little for stepping up. But like, I don't know what to throw out there that feels like a good idea right now in game number 3. Like, Ackenhausen and Moffitt's about all I can give you right now. And I don't know that they can give you 9 innings, obviously.
Yeah, we'll have to. I mean, look, one thing that Jay Johnson has definitely done, though, like I said, this team is improving overall. You have found answers in terms of your Friday and Saturday arms to kind of fill in the corners, and you have started to find answers in that lineup, whether it's been Brown, Pearson, Larson, Milazzo, and so here's to hoping that maybe with time on task, you find some more answers over the last couple of weeks.
All right, we'll step aside here. We'll talk about the bats to close out hour number one. Keep this entire first hour LSU baseball theme because we've talked more about the arms. Let's talk about some of those bats, and we'll do it right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to k2zblinds.com, k2zblinds.com. I cannot recommend them enough. Brandon Barton came into my home. He's done it actually multiple times now. First time, 5 minutes. Hey, we want to put a screen out there on the back because you have a ton of sun that is hitting that room, and also it can help you in your living room. Honestly, I didn't think that an exterior shade would help shade the living room, but it does just that. The summer months are coming. The heat was here this weekend. You know it's only going to get worse, and so it can help you in your outdoor space, but also in the living room interior of your home. He did it with a Roman shade we put in our kitchen, right? The sun was falling there as well. He knew exactly which shade to block the sun and still look like it, went with the house, right? I was like, hey, what do we do here? Which color should we go with? Literally, like, he pulls out this booklet in like 30 seconds. He knew exactly which one would go best with the home. K2zblinds.com.
KTOZblinds.com. Get those window coverings that wow. And I can tell you every day, okay, it's every price point. You got starter home of your dreams. Either way, let KTZ take your home to the next level from both a functional and an aesthetic angle, okay? KTZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com.
Charles Haniger joins for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from the Queen Casino downtown Baton Rouge. We're recapping the weekend, LSU baseball, the NBA playoffs, and the Kentucky Derby. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB, T-Bob, a guy that I want to highlight here as we talk about the LSU bats to end hour number one. Shout out to Bear Jones. Bear Jones is a player that last year as a freshman certainly had a lot of moments, but down the stretch, look, he's a freshman, and so it happened. Some people, figured him out. Some teams had a book on him, and you didn't see him play down the stretch. Again, he's a freshman. Those things are going to happen, and this year he has adjusted. I mean, you look at the first game of the series, he picks up 2 hits. Game 2 of the series, he picks up 2 more hits. I mean, they need him to be the protection for a Tommy White, and he has been that. Shout out to Bear Jones.
Bear's been awesome. I mean, him and White for the first time this year, you really feel like, okay, that's pretty intimidating. And to be fair, I mean, they've gone back-to-back weekend. So, of course, you're going to feel that. But even, behind him with Pearson, now I think he's adding to that mix a bit. I don't actually know how Jake Brown's weekend overall went. But between Larson, Brown, and Milam, those are 3 freshman hitters, and I'm very excited to watch for the next 2 years continue to develop. And then obviously with Bear Jones, I mean, look, if you look at his jump from year 1 to year 2, then thinking about who Bear could be from U2 to U3 is huge. And obviously he's going to be massive this weekend as he kind of feels like he'll be your Tommy White next year.
Yeah, Tommy White had a big game too as well. He had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, but man, Bear Jones. And to go with those 2 hits in game 2, he also walked twice, right? I mean, so he had a massive, massive series this weekend, continues to get better, continues to be someone you can count on. And yes, you have to pitch to Tommy White when you know that Bear Jones is sitting there behind him, and Bear Jones has improved on the things that gave him trouble from that freshman.
Look, and the bottom line is LSU just beat the Aggies. F him. I got the clock here. Don't worry.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Well, I just want to put those big hands in front of your face. I wasn't sure if you were able to see it, trying to give you
I got my time.gov brought up, bruh.
See, you're ready to go. You're prepared. Just like All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is always prepared for you to come into the dealership. Buying new, leasing, or renting, they are ready to go, and everything is available in all the things that we talk about. If you're buying new, if you're leasing, if you're renting, everything available, right? You don't see that anywhere else. Certainly like when you're leasing and when you're renting. If you're renting for that summer vacation, get it scheduled today because you know it's coming up. You only got a couple more weeks left of school. So get that vehicle already reserved at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
That's right. And remember, at All-Star Toyota, if you need a body shop, a service center, it is all there for you. All makes and models welcome. Very conveniently located right there off of Airline in Goodwood. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 89 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll switch our conversation into football. We'll talk some LSU. We'll talk some Saints. We'll be joined by Shay Dixon to get some recruiting news here at 8:15. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, welcome in. Hour number 2 of OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jake, Alondra, Taylor, and Shaw City Bob all here with you today. All the things that we talked about in hour number 1, because LSU takes 2 of 3 from the number 1 team in the country, had a positive vibe. But before we get to maybe the negative vibe of what's going on in LSU football, trying to land any defensive tackle in the country, just somebody, like literally like a body, like you need an extra body to be able to be there, so you have some depth there. We'll get to that because that's the sad part of today's show, and Shay Dixon's going to join us in 15 minutes from now. Let's just ask T-Bob how the pizza was last night, because certainly in Chicago you got some pizza, right?
So well, I haven't had pizza yet. Can I do a bit of a little douchey name drop thing here?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I hit up my friend Dan Katz. Some of y'all may know him as Barstool Big Cat.
It wasn't going to be douchey, then you made it douchey.
I was joking. I just tweeted at him, and then you know how people that are from a town get super passionate about showing off that town. So I got hit with a flurry of messages. I told him I was saying, and he told me to go hit up this place, Alla Vida. Okay. It's in the Greek district. That's a mile walk from the hotel. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, dude. So I can go I just gotten in. So I can go explore some of the city on foot, go get some great food. And so I went and got a chicken parm from Alla Vida. It seems to be what they're known for.
Yeah.
And I don't eat a lot of chicken parm, so I don't know that I have a great, I don't have a lot of context for what a normal chicken parm. It was fantastic. I mean, I absolutely smashed it. That's a broccolini, beautiful glass of red wine, a little Buffalo Trace for dessert with a cup of coffee. Just an incredible solo meal, soaking in the vibes. It was bougie.
Bougie.
It was definitely a treat yourself.
Super bougie.
It was a treat. It was a treat yourself night, for sure.
So
it was a treat yourself night.
Is this what sparked the knife conversation? The
Yes,
chicken parm?
because I'm sitting there cutting my chicken parm, and I realize, man, I use my knife in my left hand, and then sometimes I'm like, I'll cut, and then I'll switch the fork to my left hand to go to my mouth. And I was like, is that weird? Does everybody use the knife with their non-dominant hand, and then you switch over? And then I started thinking about it too much, and I was like, well, what if I just don't switch the fork? And I just started going the fork with my right hand. I was like, okay, that feels pretty good. It feels good. I don't know. But apparently that's normal. Everybody cuts with their dominant hand, right? The fork goes in your non-dominant hand, and you cut with your dominant one, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were unanimous on that last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think is that not a bit odd how we evolved to do that though?
No,
because I
that's
feel
just
like
how it
the
is.
knife, like I know, but the fork is the main character of the show, whereas the knife is just kind of showing up to do its job, and then it gets put back down or put back to the side again.
Well, it's like
the main
scissors.
character of cutting, though. Like you're in the process of cutting, the knife is also the main character. You're just switching back and forth.
It's like
with
scissors.
What you're using the most.
Can you cut scissors or can you use scissors with your non-dominant hand?
No, to be fair, no. But you don't even.
Well,
but I mean,
the kindergarten
actually,
scissors only have one hand like available. They're made for like one hand. So,
there's
T-Bob
nothing more. If you're right-handed, you don't get it. We get it. Us lefties, me, Jake,
Yeah.
and Taylor.
Oh.
But if you're right-handed, you do not understand the struggle of trying to cut with, or if you're left. Yeah, I mean, being a lefty trying to cut with right-handed scissors is absolutely miserable.
because they don't have left-handed scissors, at least not that I've ever seen. Everything's right-handed, so the grooves are for right. So like when you
And
put it in your
doesn't it
left
make it
hand, it's just
difficult?
like it truly feels like you don't have any kind of motor skills.
Yeah. Like it's almost like your hand muscles don't work.
Like they don't work. They're not there. So
You're getting some suggestions in the chat for where to go eat.
So I asked her suggestions, and I have now been flooded with suggestions. And my favorite thing is when like they go at odds with one another. Like James McCary says, "Oh, so don't be a rookie and go to Lou Maltani's. It's bad." Or Mamani's. That's what. And I've also had like a bunch of people tell me to go there. So like I don't know. I'm going to continue to prioritize local opinions. I think over everything. But the only thing I want to do. The only thing I want to do is go to Wrigley. I want to go to Wrigley, and I want to go. You know how I love Epcot drinking around the world?
yes.
Well, apparently at Wrigley, there's like bars all around the stadium, right?
Yeah.
Like bars, not just like a place to get drinks, but like an actual bar. So I want to do, I want to get a drink at home plate. I want to get a drink at left field. I want to do drinking around the Wrigley world, and I want to buy a Cubs jersey.
You know what? Like this is one of those
Will
mornings.
you buy me a T-shirt? I'll Venmo you.
No.
Wow.
Hey, this is one of those mornings I hope Caitlin Hebert's not listening to the show because she's probably got the 3 kiddos and it's going to be a little organized chaos. And T-Bob's like, I'm going to go drink at like every bar at Wrigley Field. I had this great meal last night. It was Bougie Bob. I'm going to try this restaurant. I'm going to be able to host all these great shows. And I just hope it's one of those mornings where Caitlin is not listening to the show.
No, I feel awful for her. I mean, it's like,
with a smile on your face and a song in your heart, you feel awful for her.
Well, there's no. I mean, I'm not
it's
gonna.
work. What are you gonna do? It's work.
Exactly.
It's work.
But no. I mean, it's tough, man. I miss the kids. I feel bad for her. It just my F-boy summer continues, dude. It's just crazy, and it's not stopping anytime soon either. There's more F-boy trips coming up.
All right, hey, real quick though, because
here we go.
I got a rec from someone who was a local for a little bit. He's from Louisiana. One Ryan Terrio, who played for the Cubbies. Gibson Steakhouse is his rec. He just shot me a message. Yes.
Okay, now Terrio, I will
sounds
put
expensive.
It sounds okay. Yes, MLB player recommending a steakhouse.
Yeah. That sounds very expensive.
Well, yeah, I mean, steakhouse in general.
But I did bring a nice suit.
But you're solo.
I did bring a nice suit.
Wear your suit just in case, and then go treat yourself one final time. Because again, like if anybody knows where to go to eat, I would trust any Major League Baseball player because
100%.
Like they always have like recommendations stacked up for like every city that they played in or they played, like as a home team in. Like road, home, doesn't matter. They've got it ready to go.
This is actually what I need to know more because I don't watch the Cubs, even though I'll probably have to do some last-second correcting here for some of the shows. But whose jersey should I buy? Or do I just go a nameless Cubs jersey?
I say, well, you can go nameless. That's always a solid play. Dansby Swanson seems like a safe play.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the World Series run with the Braves. You grew up a Braves fan. He played in the SEC at Vandy.
Okay.
Like, it feels like that one would be a solid choice.
Well, yeah, it's like not only is he good, but like
tissue there.
He's young. He'll probably be there for a while, so you'll get some run out of that jersey as well.
Yeah, I'd say Dansby Swanson. Now, like the Cubs, like Hunt might be the better person because like that's what he lives and dies by is the Cubs.
Hunt would say all of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I would buy a Kerry Wood jersey if it showed up, or a Ryan Terrio jersey.
I was about to say, see if there's a Terrio one there.
If there's a Terrio one, I would love to rock a Terrio one. That'd actually be so
see if you
sick,
can get it customized, get the Riot on the back.
Yeah.
Well, hold on now. That's going to be a little expensive. Let's relax. I can't be going to Gibson's. I can't be having Alavita chicken parm, going to Gibson's, and buying an authentic customs. That's just a little too much. Yeah, Gulf South. I agree. Why is Terrio texting Hester and not me? Absolutely disgusting.
Maybe he thinks that because you're on like the Zoom that was coming through your computer that he had to like maybe shoot me the message so it didn't come across your screen. Or he's probably like, does T-Bob have his phone this week? Will T-Bob ever write me back?
True. Or, I mean, look, this one makes the most sense to me. This one makes the most sense to me, Jake. Maybe he just likes you better.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true.
I mean,
honestly, yeah.
let's just
Taylor's right.
Yeah.
If they have throwback ones, get a Sammy Sosa jersey.
Wait, so apparently, so can y'all see the Sears Center behind me? I don't know if you can.
I wouldn't know.
But
That's what
the
it was.
Sears Tower,
right?
The Sears Tower, one of the tallest buildings in the country. Apparently, no longer called the Sears Tower. But that just feels like an absolute loss for whatever company paid all that money to rename it.
Yeah.
Because it ain't ever going to change.
Was it like
right?
Sears, the department store? Like that Sears was?
I believe so. If I had to guess, I would say probably so, right? Which makes sense why it maybe wouldn't be doing it anymore.
Right.
But like, I think it's like the Wilson or something now. That's like the Staples Center. Like it's always, at least for our generation, you know, maybe with the young guns here in a couple of years. Yeah. Now Marks is now the Willis Tower. Exactly. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough.
It's going to be Sears Tower.
Wait, okay, hold on though, because we're getting distracted real quick because we're talking to Shay next, okay? From reading on 3, and I just want to say this so that Shay can kind of give us some further context on what's going on here. But it appears that Dominic Williams got a really big bag from OU. Now, some people may say this is cope and copium because you lose the recruiting battle, and maybe that's the case. But I'm interested to ask Shay because from some of the writing on 3, they're talking about in the 11th hour, Williams getting an offer that would have exceeded every player on the LSU roster currently and many of the coaches as well. And then obviously Simeon Barrow Jr. also the concern the entire time with Barrow. They tried to get him committed immediately. The concern the entire time with Barrow was that if he got to Miami, that they too would come in with the huge bag. But I guess it's a little interesting because, and again, this could be cope because like LSU getting outbid at some points would make me feel like, oh man, insecure. You don't have the resources to keep up. But I would not I don't care how desperate you are. If that is true, that he would be the highest paid on the team and making more than some of the coaches, like, yeah, I don't think I would match that offer for Dominic Williams either.
No. And you need it. I understand that, but still, like, there's still some available that you can get to help you what you need this year. I'm with you, T-Bob. I mean, we're talking about millions, right? If we're reading that right, we're talking about millions of dollars. Like,
well, I mean, I'm thinking some of the position coaches probably make what, like a few $100,000,
probably $1 million. Okay, let's put it at even million. Like, is that what you?
See, I wasn't even thinking $1 million, but I was probably thinking around like $500K or something. Man. But maybe it is $1 million. That's crazy.
It hurts my heart.
I know. I know. Well, hey, maybe you get a little bit out of this $2 billion settlement that the NCAA is going to have to do. You get like a couple $100 or something.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe we get like 87.65, you and I a piece, and we cash that check. I might actually just frame that check and just not cash it.
I'm going to Gibson's.
That's right.
With my NIL back pay that the NCAA owes me.
Oh, man. Oh, yes. I don't get bitter very often in the NIL space, but when we're talking about defensive tackles in the second portal window making more than I made in the height of my NFL career, that hurts. Hits you right here.
Remember, though, we told you, we said this was going to happen because this is the position of need for all the major teams.
Yep.
Like this, if I was a defensive tackle, I don't care if I was the happiest person in the world. It was just good business to hit the portal this window and see what was out there.
Now, you couldn't do it, and I know we got a break. We got Shay waiting on us. You couldn't do it as a quarterback, I don't think, because I think you're too far behind. Now, you can play, but you're not going to be at your best.
Yeah.
But defensive tackle, running back, and maybe even some offensive line where you can kind of integrate yourself, certainly on the defensive line and running back positions, it was very smart for you to go in that second portal window because you are going to get paid. And you're going to have an opportunity and the ability, because of the position that you play, to come in, learn quickly, integrate yourself within the team, and then help them in the fall. So those two position groups, it is very smart for them to go in the second portal window. All right, we got to take a break. On threes, Shay Dixon when we come back here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, and get it done today. They're going to get it done for you. Love the website because you can get a consultation set up. You can have a chat with them right there on the site. You can see past client results. You can also see cases they can handle for you in the courtroom, right? So the website is set up for your success. When you go there, all the information at your fingertips. And again, if you have a question, they can answer that right there on the site. Always on social media as well, as T-Bob will tell you. At Get Gordon is going to be the handle on all major social media. It gives you an opportunity, T, to see what they're doing in the community.
Yeah, man. Like there's all kind of great stuff on their Instagram and whatnot. There's life advice, generally just kind of business. There's what to do, how to protect yourself when you get in an accident. There's sit downs and great content with your favorite athletes and members of the G team. But look, never forget, if you get in a car accident, truck accident, personal injury, offshore accident, maritime injury, workers' comp, it's all there for you. GetGordon.com, your area code 888-8888. Get Gordon, get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
It's on. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. It's LSU's baseball season on life support and news from the college football transfer portal. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, and welcome back into OTB. It is always our pleasure to catch up with our next guest. Our guy Shay Dixon on 3 Sports joins us now. Shay Deezy, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We got Chi-Town Bob in Chicago, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to join us here on this interview, but probably a good thing for him because he'd probably be sad like the rest of us are about the defensive tackle situation over at LSU.
T-Bob's not joining us, you said, correct?
No, he can't be on
he's in Chi-Town.
he can't be on the teams and also having you on the show, and so he's just going to listen to you, maybe talk about the plan for LSU now at defensive tackle?
Yeah, I thought I could come in here and sneak away with just giving away Chicago tips. I went up there last week, but no, he's not. He's just listening, so I'll text him later. So I'm stuck talking D tackle. I don't get to talk Chicago.
Well, I mean, you could look. We can do whatever we want here. I mean, it's our show.
Is T-Bob searching for D tackles up there?
He might. You know what? Does Northwestern have one maybe in Chicago in the area, or maybe even Illinois? He can get on a quick little trip and maybe go to Champaign. I don't know.
Let's bounce back. All right. Well, yeah, the story was, Jake, I think it was rather public. People knew that LSU was going after the 2 highest ranked uncommitted defensive tackles out there, and Dominic Williams out of TCU and Simeon Barrow out of out of Michigan, who's now gone to Miami. And obviously, Dominic Williams lands at Oklahoma. Both those guys made campus visits. Everything, I think, looks good in terms of pitch and playing time, the fit, NIL opportunities, all that. And then they continue to make visits. And I think what we've learned from the spring portal window, one, it was not as hectic and crazy as everybody or a lot of people thought it would be. I think that speaks to a lot of teams being able to retain players and not have them hit the portal. LSU is one of them. Look, you could have had, I can speculate on names, but look at Shelton Sampson, Toviano. I mean, there's a lot of young guys that they wanted to keep around that certainly could have hit the portal and found maybe quicker path to the field or whatever it might be a fit somewhere else, and they don't. So that was a good thing. Now, when you turn around and start looking for people, I think the premium guys like these 2 tackles were able to really say, NIL-wise, I'm going to kind of approach this with an attitude of I'm going to, whoever is coming after me the hardest, who's presenting me the best NIL package. And I think that when I'm looking at who's done well in the spring portal and gotten the really big names, yes, Oklahoma landed Dominic Williams, but it's been Oregon, it's been Miami, SMU scooped up some guys, Ole Miss. These are teams with very well-established collectives. They've got money, though nobody is kind of denying that. I think when we look back on it, and like I said, the dust is settling now, beyond defensive tackle even, those schools, the ones with well-established collectives, were the ones that came away kind of the big winners of the second portal period when not many guys went in. And I think that what you deem their value to be, I think from a collective view or an NIL view is, Jacob, I'm not joking here, I'd say triple what it was in the first window. So the lesson here, if you're doing portal shopping, which Brian Kelly doesn't want to do a ton of, I mean, he said, I'd like to be around 25 to 30 high school signees and then sign 5 and maybe up to 10 transfers, depending on what you need. And that's kind of the numbers they're at, but it's got to be done. That's 5 to 10 of portal guys. It needs to be done in that first window when there's so many guys in there, and you can kind of put together a class without, for lack of a better term, breaking the bank.
So, Shay, like, where does LSU go now? Like, are they going to continue to try to just get some bodies because they need some depth here on this defensive front at the defensive tackle position? Now, you've got some really highly rated freshmen coming in, but as we all know, like, you don't really know how much you can count on a true freshman to come in and help you and be an impact from day one. So what is the plan? Do you think they'll still add multiple guys at that position, even though it's not the top guys?
I think that they will certainly continue and are. I have spent the whole weekend kind of watching everybody that's out there and saying, okay, what do we see that could be a fit here? But I think we have to put our kind of go into the mind of Bo Davis or, Blake Baker, the coaching staff here. And you play ball, you watch this team, you kind of break down the film every weekend. I'll ask you this. What is your expectation for how many DTs they play? Is it a 4 to 5 man rotation? Because last year, what was last year? They leaned on 4 guys, Jefferson, the starters, and then Guillory.
Yep.
Okay, so 4 would be Guillory's back. He's a starter. Fortunately, they landed Wisconsin's Gio Paez as a grad transfer before the portal even opened. So there's 2 right there. You mentioned Don McKinley, obviously coming in as a true freshman. You don't want to have to put too much on him, but if he can be part of that rotation, that would be huge. And then you've got this big group of guys that's Jalen Lee, who we didn't see a ton of, but it's the only other returner. Sean Washington out of JUCO. Preston Hickey was getting second-team reps as a guy who came back as a PWO from Oklahoma State. And then you can kind of move down the list. Kimo Makaniole was getting first-team reps as a converted O-lineman. Can you find one guy out of that group? And, yes, I do think that, Jacob, will continue to feel out who's out there. And maybe you find someone that you say, okay, this is a rotational guy for us. I'm not sure if you find a straight-up starter. That'd be huge if you still could. But if you're feeling like, hey, we can find someone out there that can benefit us, I have heard, though, that if they were in different looks with Blake Baker to be kicking guys inside, that Savion Jones would be one. And we knew that Jones had put on weight already to hold up against the run at DN, so that wouldn't be surprising if he kicks inside and brings a little bit of athleticism, right, to that position compared to some others. But at the same time, when you're going down the stretch here, Jacob, and yes, they have scholarships to give, I think it's that balance of it. Do you need bodies in the sense of, are these guys, or whomever you bring in, are they better than Jalen Lee, than, Kimo Makaniole, than these other guys who you have? Because you don't want to just keep adding guys that you're not sure would be in a rotation. I think at this point, they're not making a move on anyone that they don't expect to play this season.
What about any other positions, Shay? We've talked maybe some corners in the past. If you could get a veteran player, someone that could be a veteran presence maybe in that room, and maybe a rotational piece. Maybe you're not getting a true first-team corner because you've got some guys that have earned the right to get that first opportunity added. Like, could they add a veteran player maybe in that room just because you're so young?
Yeah, I think that was one that we were keeping an eye on because Corey Raymond had not moved on anyone at the cornerback position. And then this past week, for the first time, he went and checked out Wake Forest Deshaun Jones, who entered last week. Within 24 hours, Deshaun had told us that Corey had reached out to him. He went and checked him out in person, and then was setting up a visit for this week. But Deshaun's first visit was Alabama, and they are in desperate need of corners, more so than LSU at this point, I would say. And they've missed on a couple of guys. So Deshaun Jones visited Bama over the weekend, and I think he got there Saturday. By Sunday, on threes, Steve Wiltfong, Pete Nakos, they had all put in on 3 RPM picks for Bama to not miss on this one and to come away with Deshaun Jones. So if that goes down, I would guess he doesn't visit LSU. We'll see how that plays out. If he does end up visiting LSU, obviously that's not ideal for Bama. But with those picks going in, I would assume that their staff has some real confidence. And I think this one is, for me, I think everyone is so focused on DT. I still think DB this was a multi-year rebuild that, as we know, they struggled a year ago mightily, but this year, can they be better? And that's, look, Brian Kelly fires the defensive staff. He brings in new coaches. We know what Corey Raymond can do, both recruiting and development-wise. And Jake Olson at safety, I don't have the biggest worry at safety. I like the move of Major Burns down to that star position. We'll see how Sage plays this year. I do like Gilbert. And they've got some young guys there. Kylan Jackson's a really good young player. But the corner room, I'm with you, is one where it's, okay, a Deshaun Jones at Wake, you go after him because he's got size, he's got some starts, and he's a willing tackler. Had some picks, pass breakups. So production's there. Will they end up getting him? Now, maybe not. But Corey hasn't just been tossing out offers to everyone, which tells me that, hey, look, he's going to at least work with what they've got there. And that's what we've seen from guys like Ashton Stamps. When Otoviano played some corner, they've moved Sage Ryan, away from the corner spot. So who else do you slide in there? I think there's a number of guys that P.J. Woodland, we saw as a true freshman. I'd keep an eye on Michael Turner, who's coming in as one of the faster guys in this class, and long, tall, one of those guys that Corey typically goes for. And he's coming from Curtis, where, look, I know he signed as a receiver, but if there was any high school to tell a kid, hey, you're moving from receiver to DB, it's Curtis. It's not like he's been putting up 1,200 yards and 55 catches a year for 4 straight years running that veer. So I think he's a guy who could fit in. So I don't know. I think that's one that they may just stay put at. But DT, certainly, they are kind of aggressively still looking and mining through the portal and feeling out, hey, are there guys out there that's better than just adding a body?
What about a guy like Gabe Relaford coming in? He is an early enrollee. Now, I know his size. He's, 6'2", 250 pounds. I don't know that he can certainly kick down and be able to hold up. But, what would the plan be for a guy like that, knowing that you just need to have some depth pieces in case that front line, and also it's a position that rotates so much, isn't ready to go? I mean, is Don McKinley really the only guy that you can see playing as a true freshman?
Yeah, and they signed a few others. I think he's certainly going to be the most ready as a true freshman. But look, Relaford looked good in the spring. I think the goal for Relaford, especially if you're in a situation where, let's say, a Savion Jones at times slides inside, well, then you've got Parrish Shane at the end, and the next guy's up is Relaford. So maybe he can get some early looks that are, pass rush or situational pass rush kind of looks that 3-4 times a game he gets in. And we saw some of that with Deshaun Womack as a true freshman. But look, I'm fine with the jack position where you've got a guy like Swinson back, and then you've got Deshaun Womack, and they've got some depth there. And then you look at the end and Savion Jones and obviously Parrish Shand, and then Relaford behind him. You're good there. For me, it really is just coming down to this interior spot where, let's be real, a year ago, Mekhi Wingo and Jordan Jefferson and Mason Smith ate up the bulk of what they did. And the year prior to that, it was Wingo and Roy that played the first and 6th most snaps of any DTs in the country. So without those guys, yes, I understand that being the question mark. I feel really good, though, about that end and jack positions, or however you kind of that stand-up edge rusher, whatever it might be in Blake Baker's defense. And I think for Relaford, that's hand in the dirt, D end. And if a guy like Savion starts to kick inside, maybe you do get, you move one spot up the depth chart and you start to play a little bit more.
Shay, before we let you go, I want to ask you about someone who signed in this class and is already in the transfer portal, Joe Cryer, out of Manny, Louisiana, and Natchitoches Central, I think his last year. That's not a lot of time on campus before you enter yourself into the portal. What happened there? And, that's just a little bit of a circumstance that we typically don't see. Someone that signs in that class, gets there in the spring, and then is already in the portal before summertime hits.
Yeah, I think what came down to it there was probably a long-term view of a path to the field, because this will be DJ Chester's first year at center. Joe Cryer had been playing center in really talked about that being the focal point of kind of getting ready to come to LSU as an early enrollee. And when he flipped from Ole Miss to LSU and they got him on board, he was considered, okay, you'll be the center in the class. But then things really fell apart at A&M. With Jimbo getting fired and all that, I think they flipped 4 or 5 total A&M commits. And one of them was Cohen Eccles, who has come in and now is backup center to DJ Chester as an early enrollee and has played really well and drawn some praise from the staff. So when you're kind of with another guy who's the exact same age as you and he's getting reps ahead of you, I think it made some sense for Cryer to say, okay, then I'll go ahead and take a look around. They released him from his letter of intent so he could go anywhere. And then he landed at USM over the weekend. So won't be going too far, heading over to Hattiesburg. And my guess is they're pretty pumped about that one because, boy, if you put on his film, he's a nasty offensive lineman. And good for him for finding a new landing spot. And we know that Brad Davis has had no shortage of good offensive linemen come through here the past few years. So I think probably works out, well for both parties here in terms of Joe being able to find some more immediate playing time. LSU's roster numbers obviously staying under that 85-man limit.
All right, there he is, Shay Dixon, our guy on 3 Sports, has a cover from every single angle. Shay, we appreciate the time, and hopefully if it actually does happen, we can have you back on when LSU gets a commit from a defensive tackle.
Yeah, so I'm glad T-Bob wasn't here. He would have just spent it talking about old D tackles he faced and telling war stories or something, guys that pushed him around or whatever back in the day.
I'm going to relay that message just in case he didn't hear it. Shay, we appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right. We're going to take a break. Bob, I think maybe did hear that shot from Shay. We're going to take a break, kind of react to some of the things that Shay talked about there. Defensive tackle, man. Oof. Even as Shay lays it out, don't feel great about that. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com, Pinnacle Exterior Construction, and they can do it all for you. We talked about the pools often, right? But don't forget about the outdoor living space. If you want that outdoor kitchen, if you want something where you can hang out with the entire crew, watch the game, enjoy your pool as well, they are the go-to place. Also, fences, like any kind of fence. They can help you out, get that done as well. Bulkheads. Something I know for my neighborhood, a ton of bulkheads going up recently there, and that's something they can come in, they can do for you. So they really can kind of do it all. Pools, outdoor living, fences, bulkheads. Go to the website, PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, man. Look, you want a Louisiana company with Louisiana values, that's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. And like Jake said, regardless of size, scope, Pinnacle, there's a full weight of its team behind your project, and they deliver the results that you've come to expect. Check out the spec pools. Again, you want to get ready for the summer? Pinnacle's your one-stop pool shop or any custom job. It's all there for you. Go look at the gallery at PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
So join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Saints undrafted free agents Kyler Ball and Kyle Sheets join the show. Plus, we're recapping LSU A&M and the latest in the transfer portal for LSU football. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB, going to bring T-Bob back in now. T-Bob, I'm not sure if you could hear Shay, but...
I could not.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't sound great on the defensive tackle position there. I mean, a lot of things that you laid out before Shay came on about Williams and Barrow Jr., Oklahoma and Miami. You lose out on the top 2 targets, but I'm not sure where they go now. It doesn't sound like there's like a plan to have like, okay, this one guy, now we're to number 3. We got to go land this guy. There's still defensive tackles out there that have plenty of experience in college football as starters. But I'm not sure now which one LSU goes after. And again, like I think they have to just add someone. Now you can't, like Perry from Alabama goes into the portal, but remember, you can't add him because in the SEC in the second portal window, you'd have to sit out a year.
I don't I know the last couple of days we've talked about Huntington from ULM. I just saw today that Huntington's 6 foot 260 though.
Yeah. Yeah. He is 6 foot, so probably 5'11", 260.
Which means to be as highly ranked as he is, that he's doing the absolute most with that, and give the guy credit. That means he's balling out despite being a bit undersized. Unfortunately, that doesn't feel like size that's going to
low man wins. Maybe
low man wins. I mean, look, I think honestly, Jake, I agree that you need to add someone, but it's seeming more and more like you're just going to be sticking with what you got, and you're going to be relying on guys like Preston Hickey to maybe just step up in ways that you haven't thought about before. And I got to be honest, I was not prepared to go into a full Preston Hickey take today, so I need to do more research before I do. But this is a preferred walk-on who's very, very strong. I think like maybe damn near the strongest guy on the team.
Started out at Oklahoma State.
He had a strong spring. Reportedly, and I know Lon Phillips Sullivan at LSU Odyssey just had to sit down with him, and then I've actually got some emails from I can't remember. I got to go back and read them again, but I don't know. Like I think well, no, not really. Unfortunately, I wish I get self-conscious talking about it because it's literally, I mean. We're so bad.
Yeah, we're both bad.
It's the thing that I've worked with
both bad.
Professionally in the entire world, and it constantly gets me into trouble, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I mean, if I can't read text, how am I supposed to get the emails,
right.
dude? That's
it does kind of get us.
But anyway, the point is, I know I have a couple emails that were skimmed over and essentially unread about Hickey. So yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of feeling like more and more like you're just gonna have to ride with the guys that you got, and Bo Davis is gonna have to try to coach his ass off.
I'm okay with you got to ride with those guys, and you've got a veteran player, you got some young players, and you're going to have to figure it out. Maybe you move a couple of pieces here and there, but I still think they got to add somebody. Like, the quality might not be what it was in those top two guys, but even if you go in the portal and you get someone who has starting experience, like Thomas Gore's in the portal from Miami, right? Miami signs one, you're probably going to lose one. Like, that's a player that would give you a body that when you put him in there, he's not going to be a liability, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to add somebody like that. You might not now have the ability to add the game changer, which, look, it sucks. It does. But you missed. You were 0 for 2. But if you can just add somebody that can get in there and give you SEC quality, I still think, T-Bob, you got to add somebody. You can't – I just don't believe you can go into the season with who you currently have, knowing that position and knowing how much you have to rotate. Like, having Wingo and Roy, like Shay laid out, be defensive tackles that one was number 1 in the country in snaps, the other was number 6, like, that's not a recipe for success oftentimes.
What other names are out there? CJ, will they revisit the CJ West thing?
He's still out there. I mentioned Gore from Miami, Huntington, somebody that we mentioned. Full disclosure, it's slim pickings at this point to somebody that is going to be like a game changer. Like, you're going to get, and they re-rank these players once they get into the transfer portal, you're going to get a 3-star player after the re-ranking. That's what's available. Yeah. Now, 3-star players, again, like, we've seen them thrive before, but at this point, they kind of are who they are at the college level. But again, you just need somebody that isn't a liability when you put him in there, because you're going to have to rotate. It's a position that rotates as much as any on the field. It's and I think whatever, okay, I don't know if this is exactly why those guys left. What I'm about to say, of course, I'm talking about Wingo, Jefferson, Mason Smith, but this is the revenge of the gangrenous finger from Matt House. His final final dropping of the ball when it comes to this LSU defense. Like, literally, this would be a strength. Actually, you'd be fine if you had one of those guys. This would be a strength of the team potentially if you had 2 of those guys, and instead you got nothing. And again, I understand not going all in the NIL range if some of those numbers are to be believed, but yeah, it just sucks, man. It is what it is. At a certain point, though, Jake, like you said, maybe you had a body, but already you just have to be shifting your mindset to, okay, these are the guys we have. What can we do to mask their deficiencies, try to promote their strengths? Like, we need to do everything we can to try to make sure that we get the most out of what we have. Yeah, you're at a point where you have to look at the roster, T, and they mentioned Savion Jones maybe kicking down. Like, you have to use everything that you have at your disposal to be able to try to go out there and feel good about it. But again, like, the problem is when you move, like, okay, Savion Jones, you're going to move from end to tackle. Well, then you've got a need at end now. And you've got a Paris Shan who can step in, but, like, that was a nice depth piece. That was a nice number 2 that could come in. And, like, who's going to be now the guy that comes in? Well, then you're talking about, Gabe Relaford being a true freshman. Again, we're counting on true freshmen if you're LSU. And so, like, that's the problem. When you start moving people, it sounds nice. But as you know, you move somebody from somewhere, well, then you lose the original position. You lose the depth there. And it's going to be, yet again, you're counting on a freshman to have to step up and be able to take that over.
What it's worth, Jake. We talked about it during spring that they were going to train Ahmad Bro, and we both thought that was weird because he was like 255, 260. Zach Nagy tweeted out on Saturday like the height and weight of the guys, and he had Ahmad Bro at 258. Ahmad Bro retweeted it and said, "I'm 275 now." So that's something to look at. Look, there's the tweet right there. So Nagy's original tweet had him at 258. Ahmad Bro said he's 275.
All right, Bo. Say now.
Still a little light, but
still a little light, but
we're
275.
moving in the right direction.
All right.
Taylor, we're trying to get to your NFL story of the day. Why would you talk when you know we have to go to break?
He's got nothing for you. We will go to break. More OTB when we come back here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GoTommies.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommies.com. We always tell you the website is a great tool to see what they're doing over at Tommy's. You can check out testimonials of past clients, the work that they have done for all these different clients. So even if you don't believe T-Bob and I, you can believe their past clients and what they've said about Tommy's. That's not only on their website, but also when you Google Tommy's windows, doors, and siding, that's going to pull up there as well. Also, you can check out a gallery of work that they've done. So check out the doors, check out the windows, check out, the siding that they've done for past clients as well. Again, GoTommies.com. That number, 225-250-8808.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you go get 3 bids. Just make Tommy's one of the bids for your job. Okay, Tommy's windows, doors, and siding. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need any types of doors. Well, Tommy's has your back. And look, tax return season. Hopefully you got a nice little chunk. Why not reinvest it in your greatest asset, your home? Again, GEAUXTommies.com. That's GEAUXTommies.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
Charles Hanniger joins for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from the Queen Casino downtown Baton Rouge. We're recapping the weekend, LSU baseball, the NBA playoffs, and the Kentucky Derby. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, it is now time for, what are we calling this? Tailor-Made's NFL story of the day.
T-Bob came up with the name. It's not great, but we're working
I did
on
not. That is like patently untrue. I said that tailor-made is the first thing that everybody thinks of, but the title needs work.
Yeah.
All right, the title needs work segment of the day.
There it is.
Go Taylor.
Yeah, so this actually centers around J.J. Watt, even though he's not in the NFL. He had a celebrity softball tournament, a charity one, and they were talking about, hey, what do you think of the Texans, like the roster they're building? And he said he texted D'Amico Ryans last offseason and this offseason as well, saying, hey, you need me. I'm still training. I'm still in playing shape. Let me know if you want to run this thing back. It's the only team he would consider going to. And he said, hey, D'Amico, if you need me, this is the last year I'm doing this. This is the last year I'm training during the offseason as if I'm in playing shape. So maybe possibly a reunion of J.J. Watt and the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I think, okay, so interestingly enough, this is not the only story in this same vein. Les Snead was also the Rams GM. Was also talking about the fact that he's not fully buying that Aaron Donald has done. That if it was a situation where the Rams are kind of sniffing the Super Bowl, that he thinks that he could almost get Aaron Donald out of retirement. And I think that would be the play for Watt, right, Jake? Not like, I don't need you during training camp.
Right.
Don't come during the season, but maybe a little late season roster push, Texans contenders kind of.
Well, and the Texans are, I mean, they're ready, right? We talked about their moves in the offseason.
Like, hey, JJ, stay ready, right? If we have an injury or two. Same thing like Aaron Donald. Like, that dude's going to stay in shape. He trains with knives, for God's sakes, okay? He's not going to quit working out. So he'll be fine. Like, if they need to make that call, what an addition that would be, like, late in the season for a late season run. So he does. And that does not look like you're training with knives. That looks like you're doing something.
I'm stabbing.
Okay, that's better.
I'm stabbing.
Stabbing's better.
So
because,
fat.
Don't love it again. Weekend winners when we come back here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. RejuveMeMedical.com is the website. Your age-defying clinic. You can get a list of conditions they can actually treat for you. And we say all the time, like, if you got something that's bothering you and you just don't feel right and you can't get, I can't stop seeing T-Bob in the replay on this TV. You can't get to the bottom of it. They can get to it over at Rejuve Me Medical. So get your consultation set up right there on the website. Top right corner. Locations throughout Louisiana. Also now in Mississippi. T-Bob, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Rejuve Me, restore me or fuel me, Jimmy. You already know, boys, girls, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't care, male, female. You want to fight the untreated effects of aging? That's where Rejuve Me comes in. And look, it's just science, man. Yep. Like, it ain't magic. You can feel magic. But you go into your free consultation, you get your labs drawn, and then your body is the guide to customize a plan for you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at GuaranteeMedia.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, May 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect rainy skies with a high of 89. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. Devin Snow is going to hop on in his normal spot at 9:15, and then we'll talk a little New Orleans Saints as well. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB, Monday morning, 9 a.m. And so it is time for some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out out there, okay? We gotta keep our composure.
What are you doing, your best Taylor impression?
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
Put the camera on me and show T-Bob what's going on back here.
Yeah, I will. I'll stick up for Alondra here, T-Bob. There's some adversity all morning long. She's had to basically like hold her headphones.
I've been having to hold it in place, and Bo is fixing it literally right now as we speak.
Good.
All right.
So shut up.
This younger generation,
Shut up.
dude. Okay, just show a little toughness.
That's what am I doing the
Congratulations.
show? Yeah, I am. So
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to
you're
hear
great.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
proud of you. I guess. What do you want? A freaking
Get on
cookie?
it. Just
I would
do-
love a cookie.
do
I'm
weekend
pretty,
winner. Yeah, I
pretty
love cookies.
hungry. Yeah,
So if
cookies
you
are
want to send
fantastic.
some, I
because
would actually
you made
really enjoy
your
that.
cookies one time, brought them in studio. You're like, oh, I'll do this all the time. One time.
Yeah.
One cookie delivery.
So anyway,
to be fair, I ain't even made those cookies for my kids in like 6 months.
I don't care about your kids. I care about us.
Right. We didn't ask about the kids.
Okay, then I'll start off with weekend winners.
Oh, okay.
Because
unless you take the
there
one that I
is
had, then
no
we're going to
doubt.
shut your microphone off.
The Tom Brady roast.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna do that one. You haven't
No.
watched it yet. The Tom Brady roast was an absolute win for everybody involved. It was again. First off, I think it was unlike anything we've ever seen. in that we've seen plenty of roasts, and I'm sure there's even like great roasts of athletes out there, right? But the roasts that we grew up on, I feel like, Jake, were always like on Comedy Central.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe they were slightly risque, but they were okay, right? This is different for a couple of reasons. First off, Netflix Live, and it seemed like if my Twitter feed is any indication, that a ton of people watched. So it probably did mega numbers. Because it was on Netflix, it was completely unrated. Like you could say whatever the hell you want. And it was wild, not just to see comedians who really seemed to revel in the fact of like, okay, we're going to bring back roasting it. We're going to go extra aggressive and dirty and try to make you uncomfortable. But then also to see the Patriots, who are basically the dynasty of our time, all get up there and do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom dropping F-bombs, GDs, making fun of everybody. Gronk. It was, Drew Bledsoe was hilarious.
Bledsoe was aligned to Belichick. I saw a clip of that where he's like, at least when I got fired, somebody else wanted me, Belichick.
Oh, and then he even stopped to take a sip of his drink during. You can tell Tom was a little buzzed. He'd been drinking tequila for 2 hours by the time he got on stage. Like, I haven't watched it all yet. I've seen I've seen the beginning and the end. I got to get to the middle. But, I just think it was an absolute win. And again, it's wild. The Patriots, the team of our time, if you are our age, by far, the most dominant dynasty. It was basically just like making fun of the Patriots as a whole. And one of the funniest things ever was Brady making fun of the NFL for spending $20 million on Deflategate. When he was like, bro, you could have given me $20 million and I would have just told you I effing did it. I'm like, oh, let's go, dude. So Brady Rose certified dub.
I know Taylor probably wanted to speak on that as well.
It was great. I would have given the weekend winner to Nikki Glazer. I thought she was excellent. You know, because we were sitting there, and I know a little bit of her stuff. Victoria does not, though. And like, I was walking out of the room. She goes, "Hey, Nikki Glazer's up next." I dropped what I was doing, came back. I was like, "She's gonna be phenomenal," and she knocked it out of the park. It was awesome.
All right, so shout out to the Brady Roast. Certainly going to need to watch that to catch up with the rest of y'all. I'll steal this one before anybody else does. Weekend winner, Christian Little, 3 2/3, gives up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and really, even that run didn't feel like there was much Christian Little could do about it. Only walks 1 batter, strikes out 6, and closed the door on Texas A&M after Luke Holman had another great performance. He had the 5 walks, but he struck out 10 Aggies. So Christian Little, to me, he really won you the series for what he was able to do there in Game 2. Shout out to Christian, weekend winner.
Yeah, I'd extend it to the entire baseball team. I told Gage Jump on Friday, you didn't come here to play school, okay? Right. You came here to play baseball, and he did that. And then all the high leverage moments of the team on finding a way to get the 2 or 3, and now, very tough. You got to go on the road to take 2 or 3. 2 or 3 at home against Ole Miss, and I think you will make the NCAA tournament if you manage to do that.
Yep, I agree with you. Alondra, you got one?
Yeah, I agree with what T-Bob just said, but my weekend winner, shout out to my guy, Canelo, getting the win over Jaime Munguia this weekend, and it was just, I just had a great, weekend winner me, because I saw Foo Fighters, Canelo won, baseball won the series over Texas A&M, just a great overall weekend for everybody.
Yeah, until you showed up to work and had to hold your headphone jack in place.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Seriously. But they just fixed it, so we're good. I don't have to hold it anymore. My thumb was hurting. Another win for me. Let's go.
That's the earliest the morning show's ever gotten anything fixed. So, yeah, shout out to Bo.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah, so my weekend winner is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers. Not only did they close out the Orlando Magic, they come back from an 18-point first half deficit, but it had been 31 years since the Cavaliers won a playoff series without LeBron James on their team. They have not done it since 1993. Donovan Mitchell had 39 points. He had 55 in the game before that. He's been excellent all series long. So the Cleveland Cavaliers weekend winners.
That Magic team was fun to watch, too, though. Great series, but that Magic team, the Magic have been bad for so long.
The Wagner brothers.
To see them actually be competitive was a lot of fun, though.
I'm getting a Canelo is ducking Benavidez comment in the Bayou 4 chat. He was calling him into the ring after the fight, and Benavidez was standing there. So, and also Benavidez is moving up to light heavyweight, so I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. But
Bob, do we have another one?
Yes, Jake, you'll probably know more about this, but Ipswich Town. It sounds like something out of Harry Potter. But I read a fun article this morning. I guess Ed Sheeran's from there. So I don't know. That's not the point. The point is,
I think he's actually. I don't know if he's an owner, but like their kit sponsor is Ed Sheeran. Like he sponsors their kits. Yeah, he's a massive fan.
So Ipswich Town promoted to the Premier League after a 22-year absence from the EPL. But from what I've read, Jake, this is back-to-back promotion. So they weren't even – what's below championship? League One?
Yeah, so it goes championship and then League One, League Two, and then you got the National League as well. So, yeah, they have bounced up, which is almost
30 months ago. 30 months ago, they had a new coach show up, and now 2.5 years later, they got out of League One, get out of championship, and now they'll be playing in the frickin' EPL. Yeah. And it's Ipswich Town. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that is a great story.
I finally found my team, dude.
That's going to be
my team, dude. Ipswich, dude.
All right, please, just
Guardian Leviosa.
Give me 365 days. That's all I'm asking for. Give me a calendar year and buy into the Premier League just for 1 year, and I promise you'll be hooked. And if you're not, then I'll never bring it up again.
Bruh, you still ain't watched Star Wars. Get the hell out of here. Miss me with that crap.
Bruh, I mean, give me something else. But I watched the original. Like,
no.
Give me something else to do. Like, I love Lord of the Rings.
You don't even need to get Stop.
Star Wars is.
You know what you have to do. You know what you have to do if you want this conversation to continue.
That's fair. Okay. All right. That's fair. Weekend winner, Chase Claypool, receiver, signs another contract with the Buffalo Bills. I don't know how it continues to happen. He got drafted in the second round, had a couple of nice moments with the Steelers, and then not really a whole lot, and still gets traded to the Chicago Bears from Pittsburgh for a second-round pick. Remember, the Dolphins didn't have a pick. They got that taken away, so it ends up being a number 32 pick. And the Steelers get Joey Porter Jr., so they got better. And then he gets traded to Miami from Chicago for a draft choice. And last year, let's pull up Chase Claypool's stats. He has 8 catches for 77 yards, and he continues to find a deal. I don't know what it is, but shout out to Chase Claypool, because even with no production, he continues to get paid. So he's made $10 million in his career and doesn't have a whole lot to show for it, but shout out to him.
Wait, do we know the numbers on the new contract?
No, it's just a 1-year deal, but I know he signed his initial rookie year with $7 million.
Let's go, dude. All right, I got another winner. Sherilyn and Brent Gazaway, Shreveport natives, and the owners of Mystic Dan. How about it? Huge Kentucky Derby this weekend, by the way. 156,000 people at the race. A record $210 million wagered on that race alone. If you look at the whole card, I think it was over $300 million. But on just the Derby, $210 million wagered. And once again, a pony with some strong Louisiana ties coming out on top.
Yes, and me and the crew. So I let all the boys, T-Bob and Katie, pick the horse as well. Like, we had a whole family deal. Everybody got to bet like $5. Like, you pick a horse, I'll bet $5 for you, and you were going to keep the winnings. And man, God, we talked about Mystic Dan like over and over again. Nobody selects Mystic Dan though. Like, we talked about it over and over again. But Katie's horse did finish. I think Forever Young finished second, and so if you didn't win the money, you got to pick dinner. So that's as close as we got. But I let them all pick a horse. Gave them the name, gave them their horse number, and also gave them the odds and allowed them to pick. And they talked about Mystic Dan. See, I didn't know the Shreveport tie, or I would have selected Mystic Dan.
Yeah.
He was 18-1, too. I should have known. 18, Shreveport. That's on.
Oh, wow. The signs were all there, dude. The universe was trying to tell you.
It was.
Okay, I got another winner that I forgot about. Saturday was one of the best days of my life. So I knew I was leaving town the next morning. My wife had a wedding. I wanted to go do something fun with the girls. It was May the 4th. So me and my daughters dressed up in our Star Wars costumes, and we went and saw Phantom Menace, 4K, IMAX, laser projection, Dolby Atmos sound system, 108 speakers in each room, and it legitimately felt like getting transported in time. Because I remember seeing that movie at 10 years old when it got released in 99, and to see it on the big screen again, it holds up so well. The pod racing sound design blows you away. First 2 laps, no music, just raw, visceral sound. The team Duel of the Fates, and that composition in the fight with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan on the big screen. Watching my daughter be too scared to watch the pod race because she was terrified. What if Anakin loses? How are they going to get off the planet? And then when they win, she literally stood up and started cheering. It was, it's also very funny, like, because, you know, that's one of the first movies to have, like, full CGI characters. Mm-hmm. And you can tell they haven't figured out a lot of best practices. So, like, people are trying to talk to Jar Jar Binks, and you can tell they're clearly looking at nothing. Even though I got to say, Jar Jar is still ridiculous, but the kids love him. The kids love him. And the setup from Lucas, I know some people have criticized it in the past with all the taxation and trade federation and blockades and political maneuvering. There's a depth there which has really helped it stand the test of time. Phantom Menace is a movie that has aged like a fine wine, and it was truly one of the best theater experiences I've ever had getting to watch again. Also, Coruscant is beautiful. All those shots. I mean, it's just awesome, dude. I loved it.
Hey, so it's funny. I wrote you on Instagram, and because you posted that, and you posted like the song, and y'all had a picture of y'all getting ready to go. And I was watching it. I had my phone on loud, and I'm walking by Knox's room, and he comes like quickly out of his room. He goes, "Who's playing Darth Maul here?"
He's there, huh?
What's going on? He was so confused. Like he heard Darth Maul's music. He's like, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, it's T-Bone. I showed him the picture, and so he got a kick out of it as well. So there you go.
It was sick, dude. You should take him. You should take him while it's still in the PLF to go see it.
How long is that in the theaters? You know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm sure it'll happen again soon. Certainly next May the 4th.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Alondra, Taylor, we got any more weekend winners before we get to Dev?
Yeah, I got one. Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1-year, $3 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. So a heck of a trio there with him, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. Now, it's only a $3 million deal, but with incentives, it could actually push it up past the $8 million range. So Beckham's still hanging around, 31 years old, joining a pretty elite offense out there with Mike McDaniel.
Only $3 million. I wish I had an only $3 million, but I don't. But I can tell you about AccuTemp. AccuTempBR.com is the website. Get that appointment scheduled today. You better be ready because it's about to be hot. It was already hot this weekend, and so you need to make sure that your system is working at its peak performance. They're going to come in. They're going to test everything. I would recommend getting this done twice a year, certainly before the heat of the Louisiana summer comes, because like the last thing that you want to be is stuck without AC in this heat. And so have AccuTemp come out, and even if you have a problem right now, they can come in, they can fix that problem as well. If you need a new system, they can certainly do that. Check them out online, AccuTempBR.com. And when we come back, hold the mayo. Our boy Devin Snow joins us here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. I told you in hour number 1 of the show, if you've got your summer vacation ready to go, maybe you're heading down to Orlando to go to Disneyland and you've got the trip already planned. If you want to get the vehicle planned, like if you need something bigger, if you need something better on gas, and you want to check out that hybrid Sienna like T-Bob has, like that is certainly something you can do. But also, like if you just want to save miles on your vehicle, why not rent from All-Star? Per-day rental prices, outstanding per-day rental prices. So call Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department today. Get it scheduled, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Yeah, I can't believe, dude, we didn't even mention on Saturday all the lightsabers at LSU that they handed out. That was one of the cooler parts of the game. Anyway, one of the cooler parts of All-Star is if you need a body shop or a service center, it's not just Toyotas. And it's not just from All-Star, right? So all makes and models are welcome. You get a free professional estimate, excellent lines of communication throughout the process, and as Jake says, Cars available. Also, shuttle service available for you. Also, ToyotaBatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Hey, it's on. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. LSU's baseball season on life support and news from the college football transfer portal. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in OTB. It is now time on a Monday to catch up with our guy, Devin Snow, Hold the Mayo, who joins us now. Dev, what's going on? How we feeling? How we living?
Yo, what's up? We're feeling good. Y'all were just talking about the roast, and that's like the main thing on my mind, to be honest with you. It was just so amazing.
I know. Like, I'm jonesing right now. Like, I'm the only one in studio that hasn't watched it yet, so I'm excited to turn it on. Feels like it actually went really well. Seems like everybody did a really nice job, and everybody was somewhat funny, which is always tough in a roast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame, just that, no spoilers, but it's just a shame at the end, you know, Ben Affleck had to step on stage because he was just the worst. I mean, when you watch,
no.
Dude, and I'm not even an Affleck hater, bro. Like, I love a bunch of Affleck movies, right? But man, he was just mad. You could just tell he was mad at something in his life, just really angry.
Oh, that's nice. Like, so, like, wasn't funny? Was it the delivery? Was it the everything?
Easily, hands down, the worst. The worst out of the 20 people that went up there. He was the worst.
And he's he's like an A-list actor. So, like, even if he's not funny, like, he should have had someone write him some material and he can act to be funny.
Yeah, it just seems like he had some frustration building up over the last few years, and he just started going after people who were hating on the Patriots. And it's like, dude, they're the most successful football franchise of all time, but they're also, what comes with that is people hated them,
All right, so who was if Aflac was the worst, who was the best?
Oh, easily, it's the dude from Kill Tony. He just absolutely lit it up. Tony, I don't even know how to say his last name, but there's levels to this, and he was ready. He just went through everybody and just laid them down. It was incredible. And another thing is, Netflix, they doing these live things, right? And the day before they did the Cat Williams live stand-up, and it's just horrible. It's just not good. You know what I'm saying? I might have laughed one time.
Ooh.
You come back the next night, and you got Kevin Hart hosting this roast, and it just kind of decided something that people kind of talk about every now and then. Kevin Hart is just better than Cat Williams. Like, when it comes to putting a mic in the hand and making people laugh, it's Kevin Hart for me, dude.
Yeah. I would agree. Kevin Hart's, he still got his fastball. He still can go out there and certainly handle the crowd and still make them laugh and do something like that, like host an event like that, which is not easy. You got all those people in that room. You're talking 20 deep of famous people, and they're all going to get out there, and you're kind of like, you're the in and out, you're the mediator of that, so you got to be funny all the time. Like, I think that's even harder than having like a set. You got a set, like, you know what you're going to say, but if you're up there emceeing that deal, like, you got to be funny the entire show throughout 3 hours because you're the main thing. You're the mainstay there on the stage.
Yeah, and you could just tell, like, even somebody as big as Kevin Hart, like, they're human, so, like, it starts, and you could just tell he's kind of, like, nervous,
Yeah.
But, man, once he caught fire, it just kept rolling, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was A+, man, and the funniest thing about it is 2 days before all this, I had just unsubscribed to Netflix because I do this every other month.
Wait, you unsubscribe all the time?
Yeah, because they just add it, not because I'm, like, trying to save a few bucks or something like that. It's just, like, they're so annoying because I'll get on there with such great vibes, ready to watch something, and nothing's in English. And it's a bunch of TV shows where the mouse are moving at a different pace than the words. The old Bruce Lee technique.
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, I've tried, like, even if a show looks interesting, I would rather read the subtitles than have it dubbed. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Right.
My brain will not allow me to enjoy that, Dev.
Just got to find better dubbers, man. Like, is this the best dubbers that we can offer as a country? You know what I'm saying?
The voices are so generic. They're so generic. They don't match what the person looks like. Like, at least, like, look at the person. Like, if I looked at Taylor, I would know what Taylor should sound like, right? Generic white guy. And so, like, I need them to figure that out as well.
Right. So you don't put a generic white guy on, like, a Japanese dude. Like, we got to find some type of way to make this work, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see if Netflix can get that done, which I don't have faith that they can. Hey, any Jazz Fest for you? I have to assume, like, some part of Jazz Fest was consumed by Devin Snow.
I actually didn't.
That's a shock, actually.
Yeah, it's just, dude, it's too much, though, bro. Because I went to the Zurich the weekend before.
Right, and you went to the races the weekend before that, right?
Yeah, so I got to, like last night was Cinco de Mayo. You think, I'm sitting in my house like, damn, bro, like, I wish I had Cinco de Mayo. But, you got to pick those times where you give your body a rest. I can't just be drinking every weekend, dude. Like.
Ooh, is Dev
Why not?
Is Dev getting old? Did we just come to? Is Dev at the place in his life now where he has to think ahead if his body needs to do that, and he's got to respect his body before he goes out and drinks? Okay.
Well, especially Cinco de Mayo, dude. Yeah. That's not like just going out for Easter. Like. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna feel good the next day. It's just the fact.
Dev, no, like, I'm proud of you. Like, you took a look into the future, and you said, "Look, I've made some decisions over the last 2 weekends. Do I go to Jazz Fest this weekend? Probably not going to feel great. Do I go out on Cinco de Mayo on a Sunday and enjoy some tequila, or do I just do the responsible thing, stay in, knowing that I've got a Monday where I've got to perform. Let's call it like it is. I got to go out. I got to shoot a video. I'm going to have a red beans and rice Monday. And so you made the adult decision there, something T-Bob would never do.
Exactly. And that's basically what we're getting at. And there's always going to be another event. That's the thing about this state. It's not like, okay, I might feel like, oh, man, I missed out for like a few hours. Then you wake up the next day like, oh, well, this and this is coming up this weekend. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'll be there.
I'm currently filming T-Bob sit. He can't hear us, I don't think, or even if he can. He's just sitting, lounging in his chair now, the Chicago skyline in the background, just, hobnobbing it there. Hey, Dev, I'm about to get T-Bob in trouble. You know where he's at, right? You know who's a big partner with where he's at right now? Your favorite, Bally.
Oh, great. Yeah, it looks like that hotel. No, seriously. It's funny how T-Bob, he could travel anywhere, right? T-Bob could travel to Rome, and it looks like he's in a day's end. It's just can't fix it, And, of course, if Bally's involved, you probably are at a day's end,
Well, speaking of Bally, the Pelicans, since last time that we talked with you, out of the playoffs. Couldn't play dead in the Western in that series. It wasn't great. Thoughts on the Pelican season coming to an end and maybe where they look in the near future here next season?
I think the biggest conclusion that we can all collectively come to, and I'm sure the Pelicans front office as well, is, you're not going to be able to give Brandon Ingram $200 million. It's just, that's not going to happen, right? So I think we can come to terms with he's probably not going to, unless a miracle happens, like he's probably not going to be here next year, and you got to start looking to find your next guy to bring in that's going to make a difference. And if I'm looking for the next guy that's going to come on the Pelicans team and make a difference, it's got to be a point that can shoot comfortably and facilitate the ball. When I say shoot comfortably, that means when we get to the playoffs, this dude got to be cold-blooded.
Yeah.
No excuses. No, this is hurting and blah, 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 blah. And that's why the only name that really pops up for me is, man, I'd really love for the Pelicans to go after Trae Young seriously and just put this dude on the team. You're probably going to lose B.I. You might lose a couple other players, but let's run it with Trae Young, hoping the guy that Zion can play another season just like he did and be healthy in the playoffs. Then you got a nice team if you add a piece like Trae Young. And that dude can shoot in the playoffs. And you really got to look at it like that, because to shoot in the regular season is one thing. That's great. That's fantastic. But when you get to the playoffs, you got to have somebody that's confident that can shoot volume threes, bro. Like, just the truth. And we don't really have that. And the people that we do have that can shoot threes, they were missing them. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's so two things can be true. Like, you can have really good players, which I think Brandon Ingram certainly is. But also, like, you have to have the right mix of players. And after a couple of years of this, again, you can be competitive in the regular season. You can have some success. But I'm just not sure that this group of players together with their skill sets is going to put them where they want to be in the future. Like, it just doesn't feel like it's going to fit, Dev. And so, like, for me, the Pelicans have to take a look at, okay, what are our assets? Like, we still have draft choices. What can we do to become a more complete basketball team? And so, like, tough decisions, they have to be made, because if they roll out the same team next season, and Valanciunas is a free agent, so I don't think he's coming back, like, you're not going to get above where you were this year, which is the first-round exit.
Which, that's another thing, the Jonas thing. It is what it is. I love Jonas to death, and a lot of people do. I don't necessarily understand why we so attached to this one game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hasn't really done nothing for us. It didn't take us to the promised land, like the whole small ball game plan. So I don't necessarily understand, because Jonas wasn't that bad. He was actually, every time you watch a Pelicans game, he was pretty impactful, despite the defensive issues and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm least happy about that. If I had to pick something, is losing Jonas when it's just because of what? We play small ball game plan that it hasn't even really done nothing for us. I don't know.
All right, Dev, it is Monday, so that's why you respected your body over the weekend and didn't make bad decisions. So what do you got coming up today?
Well, I mean, this is actually the 208th Monday in a row. So that's I'm not a mathematician, I could tell you that, but I'm pretty sure that's 4 straight years of doing
4 straight years?
Is it? What is that? 52 52 weeks times 4 is what?
Well, 52 times, yeah. I mean, you're right there. I mean, you were right there on it, yeah.
You know, that's what's tough about this. Yeah, I got to remember anniversaries and stuff. You know, I'm already bad at like birthdays and all that stuff. So, but no, I think this is the 208th. Or I think this is the 4th year, and this makes 4 years today. So, probably go get something real good. You know what I'm saying? I like celebrating when I can celebrate.
Like, but does real good mean like you go somewhere nice, or does that mean you go to like the biggest hole in the wall possible that has the best red beans and rice?
It could be either, but you know, now I got a little money in my pocket. You know, I like to go sit down somewhere they ain't expecting me to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fair. Everybody looks at you until you sit down. You're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you know, somewhere I might take my hat off. You know.
Well, let's don't get crazy. I'm not taking my hat off for anybody, by the way. So
yeah. People see me without a hat, they like, damn, dude. I think they expect me to have like, you know, be losing hair or, you know, gray hair or something like that. Dude, I got a nice head of hair.
Yeah, you got some good head lettuce on you, Bo.
Yeah, dude. About to be 32. You know, the hair's still there.
Yeah. Hold on for as long as you can, Deb. Devin Snow, our guy, Hold the Mayo, joins us every single Monday here on OTB. Dev, we appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, you have a good one. Take care.
All right, you as well. T-Bod, just want to make sure you're awake over there for the next segment. We good to go?
Chill out.
What?
Chill out.
Dude,
chill
you
out,
were
chill out.
lounging.
So I did a
on my
weird thing.
phone.
I figured out if I unmute the YouTube stream, I could I could listen to it. So yeah, I heard Dev kind of getting his shots in. What? Because I haven't made it over to Nola yet. I want to go over there and pod with him so freaking badly. It's just like, you know, whatever. I don't need to explain myself. Coming up next, how about this? I have a master plan that will assert SEC dominance over college football for maybe all time. Okay? And it has to do with me being in Chicago.
All right. That coming back on the other side of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to TrashRangersLLC.com, TrashRangersLLC.com, and there you can sign up for Trash Rangers. If you're in that Ascension, Livingston area, you can pay your bill. You can check out the reviews, over 3,868 reviews, 4.7 out of 5. So the work speaks for itself, but you can see the work. Reliable weekly service, no hidden fees, weekly text reminders, which, I mean, this morning, again, you almost forget it because I don't have the luxury of having weekly text reminders. TrashRangersLLC.com.
Dude, TrashRangersLLC.com. Again, not to be confused with Trash Rangers Waste Solutions, who just sold out to Waste Management, okay? Not our friends, not at Trash Rangers, your local options, okay? Sedgwick Parish, Livingston Parish, make the switch. But anywhere you live, if you need any size roll-off dumpsters, Trash Rangers got you. They can work with you. They ain't got to check in with anybody, make sure your needs are taken care of. TrashSignup.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, Our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD.
So join us for Monday's AFR presented by Relief Windows. Saints undrafted free agents Kyler Ball and Kyle Sheets join the show. Plus, we're recapping LSU A&M and the latest in the transfer portal for LSU football. It's Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back in, OTB. T-Bob, let's hear your master plan that UT's going to break.
Okay, so I am staying in the Palmer House.
Oh, shout out,
It's a very nice, classic, crazy hotel. It's actually where the brownie was invented, like the literal brownie apparently invented there. So I have a little card to go get a free complimentary brownie. I'll go check that out later. I'll report back. But apparently, Jake, back in like 1895, this is where the original agreement was signed to create the Big Ten. And so what they don't know is they've let a wolf into the hen house here, okay? Because I'm going to national treasure this ish. I'm going to go full Nick Cage, call me T Cage. I'm going to find the original Big Ten agreement. I'm going to steal it and I'm going to burn it. Therefore, dissolving the Big Ten, meaning instead of a Power 2, we will have a Power 1, and SEC football will stand alone unchallenged. I just got to hunt down where they keep the document. It's probably in a vault of some sort. I need to steal like a bellhop's costume.
Do you think there's going to be a bellhop that is 6'3", 280 pounds?
Maybe it'll be like comically small on me, but I can just convince people that I hit a growth spurt or something. I don't know. Look, where there is a will, there's a way, okay? And there's a lot of will here to dissolve the Big Ten and then bring Nebraska into the SEC as it always should have been.
Do we think, let's go around the room, Nebraska SEC, I don't know about that.
No, that's definitely.
Let's go around the room. Could T-Bob pull off a Nick Cage type heist?
Easily.
If he could find out where it's at, I think so.
I
think he needs an accomplice, though. Like, he can't do it by himself. He needs an accomplice.
Look, he's got some partners there in Chicago.
You got, call Big Cat. Yeah, since y'all are besties.
Yeah. No, I'll get, I mean, who would be better to go undercover than Mincy, right?
Oh,
God. That's what I was thinking.
Costume. I'll go as like a chef or a security guard or something. We get Megan making money involved in the scheme. I mean, come on. Megan can charm her way in.
Well, it depends on how many people you have. Like T-Bob and one person, no shot. But if you're gonna like Ocean's 11 this thing or something like
Yeah,
that,
but we
get,
need
That's what I'm saying.
Or
He
national
needs.
treasure.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if Mincy could
I don't think
stay with the bit.
It can't be Mincy.
What's up, fellas?
No,
and they start talking about Ole Miss baseball to whoever he had to talk to, and they'd be like,
man,
why are you talking about Ole
I'm
Miss?
just looking for this Big Ten documentary. Something I don't know what it about. Yeah, no.
And people are gonna be like, "Why do you want it?" And he's not gonna have an excuse for it.
No, look, here's the deal. We need a tech guy, though. Every great heist crew needs a tech guy. And I'm just wondering who that's going to be. I don't know, Alonzo. You couldn't even fix your own aux cord. How much does it trust you?
I didn't have.
He does have an argument right there.
If I had the item that I needed, I probably could have figured it out.
The thing is, like,
I'm very handy.
Radio shows, but like,
I've taken the door off my car before.
We are not tech people. Like, when there's a tech issue in the studio, we call somebody else to do it. So, like, no, we're not tech people.
Yeah, we call them because they're never here at 7 a.m.
Back, though. The first step is figuring out where they keep the document, and then is it on display? Do I need to scout out like guard rotations? Don't worry, I got this back. I got this. Okay, just know that I'm on the case, guys. I am going to single-handedly take down the Big Ten while I'm here in Chicago.
Well, we just all agreed that you needed an accomplice, so I don't know about single-handedly. But
okay, I'm going to team-handedly take down the entire Big Ten conference.
Yep, there you go.
I was trying to find out a list of like the original Big Ten because you said 1896, right?
I don't know. I don't remember the exact. It was somewhere around there. Let me see. Hold on.
Well, it looks like it was Illinois, Minnesota, Northwestern, Purdue,
1895,
Wisconsin, Michigan, and Chicago. And then Indiana joined 3 years later. Iowa joined 3 years later, and Ohio State didn't join until 1912.
Oh, by the way, guys, how about this? Something's in the air, right? I mentioned Kerry Wood earlier. Did you realize, Jake, that 26 years ago today, a 20-year-old rookie, Kerry Wood, struck out 20 against the Astros?
Astros, yeah.
Today.
Okay, that's
20 years ago.
If you see a
That's
Kerry
crazy.
Wood jersey, now you have to go purchase it.
Oh, 100%. That's just the universe. It's like the universe trying to tell you that Mystic Dan was going to win, and you ignored the sign.
Golly,
I will not do the same.
Just like $25 would have won $450.
Oh,
You know, it's like it's saying like bet me right here, make the move. Didn't do it. 18-1, 318 connections. I'm blaming you, T-Bob. I didn't know the 318 connections.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even watch the race, so I have no idea.
You didn't watch the? I watch it every year. And I yell at the TV, and I try to get the horse to win, and I think my horse that I picked finished 8th.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about how I'm going to steal this document.
Okay.
I need a glass cutter.
You think so?
Oh, you need a gymnast.
Oh,
Like you need to hire Haley Bryant.
I need a flexible
Yeah,
guy. I need
because
a flexible
the
guy. You're right.
lasers. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a diamond thief, maybe. Are there any good-looking French diamond thieves that anyone knows in Chicago?
The people that robbed Kim
I'll
Kardashian.
send you my number.
Yeah, just send it to me. I'll
I know
shoot out a
6 or
mass text
7. I'm surprised y'all don't
Yeah,
know
that'd be
it.
great.
All right,
That'd be
yeah. On that note, we'll take
Thank
our
you,
last
Jeff.
break of the show. We'll finish it up like we do every single day. Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Busy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. Wrapping up OTB when we come back.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. They've already been open for 3 hours. They're waiting on you to come see them in Gonzales, Louisiana. Top right corner of that website that I gave you, click on Community Steel. It'll show you exactly where they're located, and they encourage you, come in, come check out their shop, come see for yourself what everybody around town already knows, that Community Steel is the only place to go. Now, you can always pick up the phone, give them a call as well if you're not in the area, but if you're in the listening area and you have steel needs, 225-647-2020.
That's right. Go to Community Steel Co. for all your steel needs. Like Jake told you, man, you need purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal, accessories. It's all manufactured right there in Gonzales on site. So that means that you can go see the product, see how it's made firsthand, get to know the sales team. But what it also means is because they buy the steel from the wholesaler and make everything themselves, no middleman jacking up the price for you on the back end. So what you waiting for? Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service
Charles Edgar Jones for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from the Queen Casino downtown Baton Rouge. We're recapping the weekend, LSU baseball, the NBA playoffs, and the Kentucky Derby. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Monday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Cruise Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, best villain in this heist that T-Bob's trying to plan. Who's going to be the villain, T-Bob? Somebody protecting the documents, protecting the Big Ten. Somebody that I think would fit that role would be the general, Bobby Carpenter.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Somewhere like that's going to be like I actually haven't seen this Mission Impossible. I need to, but where like Henry Cavill literally cocks his arms like they're shotguns. Mm-hmm. That's going to be me and Bobby getting in a bathroom fight scene so I can escape with the document.
Yes.
That's a good call.
Can we do this like a short film? That would be awesome.
I mean, really, the hotel looks like a movie set. I'm so my brain is spinning trying to. We're gonna steal the Big Ten. That's what we're gonna do. Because if I get my hands on the document, I am the new commissioner.
Yeah.
And then I can do whatever I want.
What would the title be?
We'll workshop that.
No. It's the big score, but big is B1G.
Okay.
All right.
The big
I
score.
don't love that, but
We'll get there.
yeah.
Ask the bench. Is this T-Bob's first solo work trip?
Yeah, definitely. It feels so adult, you know? One day you're the young professional of the year, and the next day you're just going on
Literally,
solo
like in
trip.
the same year. Let's see. Ask the bench favorite open world video game. That's T-Bob. I have no idea.
I'm a big fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Probably Witcher 3, though. I'd have to say Witcher 3 is probably the answer. Do we consider? Baldur's Gate 3 is up there as well. I just haven't finished it yet, so I don't know if I can make it my answer. Oh God, Red Dead Redemption 2 also awesome.
That's the first one that I've recognized and actually played. So I'll
Red Dead's fun.
I will co-sign that one.
Red Dead's open world may actually be the best open world, to be fair.
Yeah.
Hashtag ask the bench, ATV or jet ski. I'll say if a jet ski is good enough for Kenny Powers, it's good enough for me.
Jet ski all the way. And Brian Kelly.
Oh, yeah. And BK, you're right.
I'm going ATV just because.
We live in Walker, so yeah.
Well, I have an ATV and I don't have a jet ski, so I'm going to go ATV.
ATV is more fun,
Humble
but
brag.
you can also get real hurt on an ATV. And I've gotten
That's also why I chose it.
Oh, because you're adventurous? Yeah, that's what I think about. Let's see. Ask the bench, favorite 80s band or singer? That's tough.
Tears for Fears.
Depeche Mode.
Tears for Fears is a good one.
Tears
Motley
for Fears.
Crue.
Yeah.
Tears for Fears or Depeche Mode.
I feel like there's a deep cut that.
Duran.
Okay, that's not a bad one. Let's see. Ask the bench, does LSU do what it needs to do in baseball in Tuscaloosa?
I don't know about in Tuscaloosa, but I think Ole Miss they will.
Well, if they don't do it in Tuscaloosa, though,
It doesn't matter.
not
Sweep Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate this, but I don't think I can sit here and say that I expect them to win 2 of 3 given the season's worth of evidence. Though it's a much closer thing than it would have been 3 weeks ago.
Agreed.
All right, it's going to do it for us here today on OTB. T-Bob is going to be in Chicago all week, but we'll be back. Same crew, same time, same place tomorrow. T-Bob's going to crush it today, and we will see you tomorrow for Off the Bench here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to mmrgrp.com. I drove by the MMR campus multiple times this week on the way to the baseball tournament, and T-Bob is not lying. This thing is set up for success. It is gigantic. It has everything that you need. Like, being a part of MMR is where you want to be. And if you want to look for that career, mmrgrp.com is the website. Go to any search engine, MMR Baton Rouge. You'll pull up those careers as well, mmrgrp.com.
Yeah, man. And like I tell you every day, I don't care if you were a student looking for internship and kind of that career sort of guidance, if you're a seasoned pro or if you're just starting out, okay? MMR is seeking talented individuals to join the team. And they offer you a tailored path for both professional and personal development. They have outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture. And so, if any of this sounds intriguing to you, check out the largest instrumentation industrial contractor in the country. That's mmrgrp.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.